I just, is my mic working? I see green dot moving. It must be. Okay. Why is it so pale? Jesus. And why is the camera not on? Oh, I gotta go back to OBS and activate it. Hey, it's working now. All right, cool. Hello, ladies and jelly spoons. How is there? Oh, that is a high mic level, isn't it? Oh, can you hear me running? Let's go back to the thing. There we are. Okay. Yeah, that is, God, I need to put a filter on that. That is very pale. Let me fix that. Where is scale filtering? Oh, I don't know what that means.
I was thinking collaboration, but okay, we could do that too. If I was just conceptually building a derby car, you need like a cage.
I think this is for audio. No, that's for audio. That's not what I need.
For sure.
There's nothing available. Screw it. Whatever.
I was thinking meet up Crown Vic. Same thing.
Whatever. We're here. We're building diffs. What's up, everybody? Yeah. That's actually just right. So, like I said, you can either put the gear in first to make life easier. So what we do is just wrap that on there. You do have just about the right amount of fluid in there.
That's okay. I got a round cage up top, so then I'll
push that down, get it nice and set. That's about how deep they need to go. And then try to line it cross up with your bolt holes. That way when you put that piece on, you got it all lined up. So then another one of these. And then all you have to do is build your outside piece. So no shim on this side. We're only shimming to go. We're pushing that gear in the pinion. We're not trying to fill the case. So no shim. And then put your bearing on, your outdrive, your seal, your big guy, your little guy, your pin. Stick it together, just like that. I'll go ahead and throw the videos on too. Hello, one person who's watching. Right in the middle, moving some stuff around and getting the TV changed. Just a second, but yes, we are building differentials and rebuilding on-inventory scissors. 6S's. Shut up. All right, wait, what was I got? I forgot what the hell I was doing. Right. Oh, you need a seal. That's what I was doing. Right. So here is a. Are they good? Yeah, if they're solid, use them. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, those are the ones that came out, right? They shouldn't be worn by now. You don't have a lot of mileage on the truck. What do you got? 6 batteries, 10 batteries?
Not even 10.
Yeah. But you see where the wear comes in with the type of driving we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I tell people, like, it's just like having a real monster truck. You do just about as much maintenance as you do driving it. Okay, so. Oh, did you see I changed the name of the channel?
Did you?
Yeah, it's 941 Bachelors RC now instead of Logan Gamble. Yeah, I thought that was more inclusive to everybody. You know, I don't want to make it about me. It's not about me. It's about us. It's about what we do and what we have fun with. Oh yeah, live video right now. Okay, of course we put that on. But what we're gonna see is the last couple shorts, the ones that you haven't seen. Yeah, I'm worried about the update video. That's me announcing the fact that we're doing what we're doing right this second. Did you see how to move your RC cars?
Oh yeah.
The fast forwarded one and all that. Yeah, I fast forwarded and I highlighted the police station. That was great. Now we'll go to the other one actually. So I finally got to do a video on my stuff because I did yours and Nick's first. Why is that so dark right now? It's not that. There it is. And get a goddamn job. So I told her, hey, fuck you, Mom. And I threw the phone at her head, but I managed to hit her in the snatch. So I slammed the door in her face. Don't ever march. This is a cool trick. I like this. I keep doing that. That quick J turn on the transition. That was tight too. I nailed that rail and wheelied after it. What? Taking the hits from the master. Double back and 1 3/4 backflip. Looks like I knocked the nose coming in. I'm not sure if I did or not, but
Yeah, that railgun was fucking nuts.
yeah, this is fucking great. Remember the water thing?
Butter.
Totally. I turned my truck into a paddle boat, bro. With that blown tire flipping around like that. Every time I got out of the pond, if I hit the gas, it would slide right back into it because of the wetness and the slope of the hill. So it was like I couldn't get out of the damn thing. Oh, hey. Look at that. That's us. Us now? No. Us 10 seconds ago. Remember that from Spaceballs? Keep firing, assholes! That was such a great movie. You know they're making another one?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're getting a lot of the originals. It's going to be cool. All right, I'm going to put on some tunes. I think that would be cool. Oh, well, hello, one person that's there. Yes, we are building armor differentials, many of them. I have some assembled, so I'm putting this part back together. I have a torn apart truck there, and my buddy Alan right next to me here, he is building differentials as well.
So we got the O-ring.
Right, so shaft through with a little grease on it, and then big shim, little shim.
On the inside.
Yeah, just to get the O-ring lube so it's not dry when you first spin it up, and also those where those plates go together, you want a tiny bit of, or the shims. I mean, you want a tiny bit of lube there, so that yeah, they don't burn up. That's why we cut those grooves in the washer. Yeah. For some quick tips, real quick, like grooved washer. If you're familiar with armor differentials, I'm sure you don't know what that means, because they don't have any grooved washers. Well, we make them grooved washers because they're better. The big washer, if you don't run LSDs that you replace the LSD plates with, I'll show you what we do to them as soon as I hit play here. All right, let me grab one of those real quick. So you take those and you cut them like that. And that way they have a place to hold grease when they're grinding against that other washer that's in there. In your bowl. That sounded familiar to something I said to a woman once.
So big shim, little shim.
Yep, big diameter, little diameter, and then the pin. And then you got that that crazy one on the outside. Dude, I went stupid on my diffs, dude. On the stunt truck. Because, you know, like you're, like say you get on a tail grind, right? Right, you're not going to hold it because you're spinning the outside tire because the tire's out in free air. And, you know, I've always tried to run a little bit looser kind of diffs on the stunt truck because, you know, a lot of times, more than likely, we're going to be in the air and we're going to land a little funky and we're going to be possibly on throttle or brake. And if you keep a looser diff, that'll take the shock out of it somewhat because it'll transfer some of the energy to the other side and spin it the opposite direction. Well, if you got a locked up setup, then you're not going to be able to do that. But you won't be unloading the tires if you actually end up doing a tail grind. So I went 500K front and rear with a quarter ear plug. Yeah, I went hard solid. Yeah, dude. So that's going to be interesting. First time I've ever done a stunt truck like that. So, but you know that's how you make these things better. You try different shit and you evolve. If it doesn't work, shit, change the fluid back out. It's no big deal. Well, I mean, it's a couple hours of work, but it's not that hard. I mean, just wait till it wears out. Whatever. Wait till you break enough stuff to annoy you, and just put it back. But yeah. So that's a crazy setup I'm trying right now. And we'll see. Oh, jeez, come on, you. Get between the plates. So, hot racing hub with the carbon fiber tabs and a fairly loose tie rod. So it's like the ball keeps flopping to the side. That's why I can't get it to drop between those plates. Fairly tight tolerances we're going with it. I mean, not like, hundreds, but, we're close. Pin needs to be a little better centered. You got to have those dead on because when you're blind going in, you can't see it yet. Then just line up things and just go. And same thing with your screws. Dip them and stick them. I would go with 2 adjacent from each other, get them good and tight, and check. And also, like every once in a while, just turn it to make sure that you're not tightening it into a place it's not supposed to be. Because I've done that in broken gears and shit. It's late. You get a little ham-fisted and start fucking destroying these small little screws. All right, so I got my drive shafts in. So to bolt that back on, once I grease it, then I go after the front diff on that one. It's already built, but I gotta shim it still. Get off. Where's my ES tire? Tire stand. Car stand. How did that thing go? That's great. Grab one of these. Okay, so there we go. Grease everywhere. All right, so. That is a little bent. It is an M2C, but man, we've done some stuff to this truck. It's got a little bit of a tweak in the back. Looks like I need to get one of those. Oh, this is not an M2C. Sorry, excuse me. This is an arrma chassis for a TRL tuned. TRL tuned chassis is lighter and stronger than the stock arrma Notorious chassis, and it bolts directly on. So if you can grab one from somebody who replaced theirs off eBay for $40, do it. Right. So don't attach your shocks before you bolt your bulkheads on. It puts too much pressure on your little guys there. Plus you're pulling on your screws as you're trying to compress it if your group's set right. Right, this is just about empty. The hybrid is just a recipe. All right. Come on. Lucas Red and Tacky is what I like to use on my gears. Seems to work quite well. Oh, yeah. I unscrewed my nuts. Oh, wow, that nut is off, actually. It's my standard hub mod. So what I do is I take it and put it in a vise, or I put it on an outdrive, and then I put notches in it on the corners with a punch. And that does 2 things. One, it spreads the aluminum out on the corners, so you have a better bite at the corner of the wheel where it flexes. And 2, puts little knurls in the face of it. Because they put knurls in the nut. No matter how you set this up, the wheel's going to flex and it's going to rock back and forth. If you put knurls in the nut, it's going to loosen the nut. Put knurls in the hub. That'll be on our re-engineering the arrma video, which will be, I don't know when we're going to do it, but there, let me see. I got you. I don't want you making a mess and then getting upset. Here. It's all thick because I guess it's separated when it was in the jar. But yeah. Anyway, so re-engineering the arrma. That's going to be coming up. We're going to finally write down all the modifications I've done to this thing, and it's just little re-engineering tricks. Just fix this thing because it's okay, but it could be better. Whatever you want to call it. What the fuck is my center drive shaft? I didn't use this thing to do. It's say fuck you. Okay. I don't know where my rear drive is. Yeah, I know the workbench is a mess. The last time we were out there, it was pretty damn late, so deal with it. Well, guess I'll do what I usually do, just replace it until I find it. Oh shit, that's interesting. What's the 500? Oh, you're gonna need that million weight too for the middle. Or Well, you said you like Claire's. She does run a tighter center diff than normal. She tried it the easy way and she didn't like it. So when you've driven, it's been with that. Oh, well, there it is. It's stuck in the car, you big dummy. I don't like working on stuff. There you go, man. Congratulations. How's it feel? Is it? Oh, yeah. Good. Yeah. Very little play. Cool. I wouldn't reshim it. I mean, I shim internally too. Those shims you're supposed to put on the bearing that are stupid, that flex, you can put those in between the gear and that washer. They fit perfectly. And that can give you a little more tightness between the gears so there's no lash there. Because having extra play and the spiders on the inside can crack them when they just snap back on each other when you're doing what we do. But that is a very, very nice diff. Now, let's see how the pinion play is. So put it in the box. You don't have to hook the drive shafts up. Just put it in the hole all the way down, and then hold the input yoke and try to see how much you got in the gear. And hopefully you won't have. Well, you might have a tiny, tiny bit. If you have a tiny, tiny bit, that's good because then when you put the cover on, you won't. We aim for zero play on assemblies, like between here and here. Zero play, but with no drag. This has a tiny, tiny bit because of bearing wear, apparently. It was zero before. But actually, you know what? It's probably got a loose spot. Yeah. Nah, probably should have changed the bearings out of it. But we'll see what happens. One click, and I'm going to pull it anyway. Because with these things, once you start clicking, that gear is going to be done if you keep driving it. And I mean, the really hard click, the one where you come down backwards and at a 30-degree angle and slam it. Yeah, when it clicks when you do that. Do what you want. All right, so put this down. Stay. And put down me. Where are my gears? Diff screws. To say what you want. Yeah, I should have hooked my drill up before I did this. Man and die like a champion, yeah, hey. And I don't know if the mood will survive, but I'll believe in God when 1 and 1 on 5. Right into the core, I tear down the building just to pass through the door. Do what you must, do all you can. Break all the fucking rules and go to hell with Superman and die like a champion, yay! This guy's got a double doctorate. The lead singer. He actually does lectures at UCLA on what is it? It's whatever the study is of human nature and evolution, how we manipulate things. Show it down. These guys are all in their 60s now. Still playing. How's it feel?
Feels pretty good.
Let me check it. All right. So.
You were talking about holding this.
Yeah, exactly. The input yoke. Yeah. I like that. As long as it doesn't bind once you're together, go ahead and put your cover on it. And you actually do want to do a pattern on that, like a crisscross back and forth when you tighten it down, because it will seat funny. So if that is good, then you are shimmed and done, dude. And that means you don't have to take that dip back apart, because that's the only bad thing about my way of shimming. You got to change it. You have to take the dip apart. And if you want to keep that bond on your gear, you got to take it apart from the other side and gut it all the way through to get to the other side to get the shim out. The only downfall of that. However, I've never seen one that didn't need either one small one, one big one, or two small ones. That's it. So instead of shimming the way arrma wants you to shim a diff when you install it in order to get your pinion and ring gear mesh right, because those little thin pieces of tinfoil they give you just come apart when you try to stuff them in a hole, especially if you're going for zero lash. And that's just dumb. So what we do is put the shim behind the pinion gear when you assemble it. So, or not behind the pinion, but between the ring gear and the bearing. Use an axle shim in there, and then that way it does the same thing. It pushes the bearing out, so it's pushing the thing over. So it's changing your gear mesh. So that's what you want to do. I don't want to step on it in the middle of it. So that's the way we do it, and it's I consider it 1,000 times better. I haven't met a person yet that doesn't think it's a better design or a better idea, but that is the pitfall. It's possibly having to take it back apart. That's why we usually do a dry assembly on a first run setup when we got brand new parts, and that way that just makes it better. Yeah, that is bent chassis for sure. Ain't no doubt about that. That's all right. I'll get another one. It's just a TRL. Plus, I've got even more. What do you call it? Anti-squat, which I like to run a lot of anti-squat on my cars. 3 degrees at least. Oh, that sucks. Forgot about that damn thing. I'm gonna take all the screws out. The camera's running. Hi, Brody. What's up, buddy? Daddy's doing a live cast. Is that okay? Yeah, I already took like a half-hour nap with you and fed you for like an hour. You know, but you just have to have more, don't you? Love my neurotic dog. Damn, even Mike's not in yet, dude. We've had like the odd someone come in and not say anything and roll out. There's a call Mike and see what's problem with this. Like, dude.
What the fuck you do?
Yeah, me and him got a little bro down the other night. Yeah, because he's like, he's got some issues, you know, like we all do, but he's got some pretty rough physical ones. And, you know, he just decided to, you know, just spill it and just tell me, like, look, this is why I don't do this. This is why I don't want to be on TV, you know. And it's nothing bad, dude. I mean, it's totally normal shit that a lot of people go through. But, you know, he's embarrassed just like I am about my teeth, you know. But I talked to the lawyers. I might get some money. Dude, I can get up to 10 G's to get a whole new mouth. Just rip everything out and go full implant, bro. That's it. Just done. Yep. That's how they do it now, man. Full implants. Yeah, because that denture thing looks like shit. I mean, does it look bad? It looks like a pain in the ass. My dad had dentures. Fucking every day dealing with that bullshit. Fuck that noise. Of epiphany. Right. Okay, so that one's still intact. Need different size screws though. All right, so hello person, how are you? Would you like to ask a question? I'm not in the process of actually building the differential right at the second, but I will be shimming one for pinion and ring clearance in about 2 minutes, and then I'll be building them after that. You need to know all of the tricks and tips on how to build bulletproof armor divs. I can start you off with aluminum case, aluminum bulkhead, and having everything brand new on a first build. After that, there's a bunch of little intricacies that I've designed. I've changed some of the parts, not changed them, but modified them because they don't have it quite right. Not that it's bad engineering. I just see why they stopped where they did. It was efficient, or not efficient, effective, but not perfected. Longest screw. Possibly a nut. Get in it. No, I have them sitting here. How's it going, brother? You doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Right, man. If you need anything at all, let me know. I can't wait till you drive it because you're gonna be like, "Holy crap!" It's totally different because it will be, but it won't be in a bad way. It'll just feel newer, like that new car stiffness.
Yeah. I just put it all back in and I forgot to put fucking grease on it.
Oh well, you take the cover off. All right. I'll go grab another tub or another tube because that one is
I
like.
actually have to.
Oh, okay.
It's not the. It's like.
Well, you can use whatever you want, man. I mean, that's
This
just.
stuff I bought from K&K. It's just.
Marine grease, that's fine. Yeah, as long that's actually probably a little bit thinner, which is probably better because I mean you get more performance that way. But I mean, red and tacky is not too thick, I don't think. Not with what we're doing with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like putting Lucas in your shock oil. And yes, I used to run Lucas's shock oil. It's 140 weight if you look it up. Because we run 12-pound springs, so you know, these are designed to be beaten to death. So that's what we do. All right, and I think I cut some threads over there. All right, that's done. I need, need another one of those giant bolts because I bet the hell of that one. That one's all right. But it's too damn long. That's straight, isn't it? Hopefully I have more of those. No, I do. Might have to go back to that weird stock thing. There's an ugly laughing man. Bird in silence, like the blood on my door. It's the generator. What the hell is that? That's not his car. Yeah, that's not good. So they're probably going to be in the screw box that I was ordered before. Yep. Before I had somebody take over. Oh, man, no, they're just kind of ugly. I was saying, do you want an aluminum case cover, but that's kind of funky looking. Sure, you don't want to put ugly shit like that on your car, right? It's been through a house fire too. Well, you know.
The gear is supposed to be on the left side, correct?
Gear's always on the left. Yep. Yeah. I watched you when you put it in to make sure. And since you didn't ask, I just let it go because it was right. Yeah, I've done that before. There's nothing like rebuilding your whole car, and you take it outside and you turn it on and you set it down and you hit the gas and it tries to go both ways at the same fucking time because you fucked up one of the dips. I used to do that all the time when I first got my Titan, like before I knew how to work on these things. Because God knows the last vehicles I had were serpents and they're completely freaking different animals. Almost. Oh yeah. Wipe the blood on my door. Watch me clean and I will run until I reach the shore. Oh, you kidding. Really? Story of my life, just a little too short. Son of a bastard. Why did I thought I just got changed? No, it's not long enough here. About a half a mil. Oh, I got those monster ones, Son of a bitch. So that's all I got. A rock. Alright, okay. That's a post. That's on a screw. Yeah, I'm screwed. I got these fucking monsters. Oh well. Maybe one day I'll just cut them off. These are some big ass screws. Cool. Yeah, you notice it got a little snugger when you put the case on?
So what now?
You notice it got a little tighter when you put the case on?
It did?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even try it because as soon as I put it on, I noticed it.
Right, yeah, it's got 0 lash now, probably. Oh, come on, let it go. Eat it. Okay. And a new nut shall be installed because that one decided to be an a-hole. Oh my God, Mike showed up. Hi, Mike. I'm just busting your balls, dude. It's all good. I didn't even text you about this, dude. I mean, I know you knew from yesterday, but so I didn't. I was about to because me and Alan are sitting here going, where the fuck is Mike already? You didn't miss anything. I haven't actually gone through the process yet. I'm still working on getting mine back together. I have to shim the front one as far as pinion and ring play, but I don't have to build one until I get to Claire's, which is going to be after I'm done with this one. Gosh, all right. Ouch. Damn you, really? Oh, shit. Brody, you scared the hell out of me. Your dog just grabbed my foot with his paws. Holy shit. All right, mother. Come here. Good, dude. I'm glad you had a good time, dude, because I know you were totally not down. Yeah, well, you got to ask yourself, bro, was it worth it? I don't know about you, man, but I don't get headaches very often. But when I do, I don't want to see. I don't want to see anything because every time you open your eyes, it hurts like hell. Yeah. Solid. Yeah, and pesky sway bars. Yeah, just yeah. If you can remember, because I never can remember shit. Sometimes when you're at the park, just pop them off, on the ends. You just undo them and just drive it and see, how you feel about it. I had Claire do the same thing because she didn't want me fucking with her car because she loved it so much stock, and I get it because they do handle amazing. I mean, just driving hers the other day was great. But yeah, it's the only time I think you really need them on one of these is if you have a traction roll issue, and we don't traction roll. Like when you go around the corner flat out, it goes. Yeah, traction roll. Yeah, because a sway bar will keep the car flatter, so it won't lean as far, so you won't traction roll. But or lift the inside tires because that can have adverse effects like unloading the diffs or something like that. But if you're not having those issues, why run them? Because it's a pain in the ass when you got to work on it. I got to sharpen up this Allen wrench real quick, so I need a good bite on one of these screws. I wish I got another one sitting here and I have to roll out for half a second. You didn't? Okay. Well, hey, man, I didn't say you definitely would. I didn't sell you a dummy. I just I said I did, and it was recommended by a ex-world record speedrunner. I was also data logging though, and maybe that helps me time it right or something. Because with the data logs, I could get like a second count of when I was topping out, and when the amp barrage was stopped leaving my battery. It definitely might make a difference because I was running 8S, actually 8S Spectrums, 8S Spectrum 5000 or no, 2.4 Spectrum, 2.4 Spectrum 5000 milliamp. What are they? 90C, 100C. Nothing special. Burst black. What? Misspelled. It's burst black. Burst back. Something like that. Yeah, I mean, if you got like a super high C rating, I mean, it might, but like I said, I was only running the 100 C or 90 Cs. Those Spectrum batteries that have that stupid little middle wire because we all want to buy all of their crap. Idiots. But I need longer bolts than this damn skid plate. Yeah, it's worked for me. Doesn't work for everybody. But I did GPS that shit. That's probably why I hit 115 instead of 110. To be honest, because on average, if I did test it back to back, I was getting about 5. And I've heard of people getting 7 or 8, but I don't think that one dude does it. That's on Big Rob's channel. That one speedrunner guy is always down there blasting that shit down the street while he's standing on a chair in the middle of the road. I mean, I'm not trying to say, you drive how you want to drive, man, whatever you can do, but that seems a little homicidal or suicidal to me. Especially that one time he drove it through the middle of it on accident. Dude standing on a chair like you're sitting on it. And he's got an 8S speedrunner, or 6S, and he's going 135, dude, and he went between the chair in the middle of the road when he was standing on it. I know! Yeah, built by Rob RC. What up, bro? He's just big on big. Like, they do speed runs. They got like 12S, 8S trucks. Like they've 12S'd them. Yeah, and they send them. And they got some pretty sweet places to rock too. Like they got a BMX track at their disposal. And they got a bunch of cool dudes that always come out on the weekends, and they do like the whole neighborhood thing with it. It's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of time to watch his videos, but I try. I get in there when I can. Traxxas LiPos 25C50. What? Okay, I get your point. It's your battery. 25C50 burst. Now, I know C rating's bullshit, and there's no governing body, so you can't really go between battery and battery. Like, if one's 100 and one's 130, it might be the same, or the 130 might be worse than the 100. You don't know because there is nobody that checks that shit. But when the battery's labeled 50 or 25, you can bet it's probably weak. I'd love to do a back-to-back GPS test for like a fifth scale drag race. You're like 0 to 60 foot time with between that battery and the same milliamp rated pack at 150C.
Okay, so bearing, outdrive.
Did you get the shim on it? No, you get the shim on the outside.
I get the shim on the outside.
Yeah, you gotta have shim on this one. That's the one that pushes it over. Remember? It's a good thing I caught you there before you greased it. So, where was it? You already put it in? It was right there. You might have put that in the wrong place. We'll see when you open it up. Right. Okay, so, yeah, that's right. Okay, so your back's right there. Oh, I already said it on, didn't I? Yep, there it is. You're good.
Oh, is there a shim on the
Yep.
on the bearing?
Yep, see it? Yep. I put it on top of your gear earlier. So it was
You
all
have
right.
to do that to every.
Just the front rears, just the ones with the bevel gears. That's the replacement for the outside shims. And I usually start them off. They come in thin and thick, essentially. So I start them off with a thin one. I check the mesh. If the mesh is good, I go with it. If not, I take it apart, put a thick one on it. If it's still not good, I put 2 thin ones on it and go from there. But 90% of the time, I get away with one shim starting out. I've just been lucky. But I have had to take them all apart again. And like I said, you got to do it backwards, so it sucks. Built by Rob. Oh, god damn it, Brody. Fuck, man. That's an ingrown toenail. Look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you, but God, you're scaring the hell out of me. Love you, buddy. Built by Rob, rolls with Ian from IRC83, I think. I don't know, man. Maybe. I haven't gotten that deep into it. I know he's got some. He's definitely got a crew-ish kind of thing going on. He's got some peeps. That's for sure. Damn, I'm just a little off that. You know what I noticed, too, about your truck? Your droop is a lot different than the way I run it. And I'm wondering if that has something to do with the ease of flippability of that truck. Because you've got like front end hanging it out. And then the back end is like nice and tight like I run mine. See what I mean?
Yeah.
and those droop screws are factory adjusted. It has been no change. So maybe that's part of the charm of the drivability of that thing, because there's not a whole lot between the drivability of our two trucks. Well, I mean, yours, I imagine, is like Claire's. Yeah, with my experience with hers. But there's something to it that just makes it like, makes you want to giggle. You know what I mean? It's just that extra bit of, look what I did. Like it's just stupid easy. It's, or this is more like a serious endeavor when you get into this thing. It feels more knife edge, but it's built that way. I did get somebody hit me up, but I was like, okay, and then they never got back to me. So I don't know. But yeah, somebody hit me up about a collaboration. I don't know what the hell they were talking about, but maybe I'll figure it out one day. I mean, I know what a collaboration is, but I didn't know how they wanted to do it. Like what they were trying to do, like a podcast or what. Like you want to do a live stream? I don't know. Yeah, that'll work. I hope. Fingers crossed. Once I cover bolts on, it still feels good. Along the way, yeah. All right. So now you want to try the grease trick? You want to try the lube when you're ready to put the lube in there? Actually, you are ready to put the lube in there. Or you want me to do my little? Okay. No. You want to put those in afterwards, right? You can put the washer in now, the big washer. Don't put the gear in yet, though, because you got to get some lube under the gear. Don't want to dry start on that thing. I mean, God knows you might just start turning in circles as soon as you start driving. That's going to put a lot of it on the differential. Brody, no nothing. Don't stick your nose in people's elbows when they're doing car work, buddy. How many times am I going to tell you that? I'm a good boy. Look, if you behave, maybe I'll rob a bank because I don't have enough money to buy a steak right now. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, shopping. All right, so
Oh, did you tell me to put
big washer. Yeah, the cut one. Yep. Quick example of our custom washers for the differential spread lever. Yep, there we go. Yep. Okay. Yep. See, for a little. Yes, I know. I'm trying to get the white balance right. I don't have time to work on it when I'm setting up. But yeah, we put those 4 little notches on both sides, opposite each other, to hold grease, because otherwise you will cut through those other shims eventually. All right, so let's see if I can make magic happen again like I did last time with my whirly bird here. As my man took control, the minds were all the same. To conquer was his goal. So he built this great empire and slaughtered his own kind. He died a confused man, killed himself with his own mind. Go. We're only going to die from our own arrogance. Absolutely. That is just nasty shit. So hard to get off. Man, and then whenever you're ready for the center, I got that. And do you want to put in any part of an earplug? It's up to you. You don't have to. You can always throw it in later if you want.
So to be honest, I don't even know how that works.
Okay, so the earplug essentially is like billion weight silicone. So we put that, like I put a quarter in these. So a quarter of it is going to get chopped up and kind of mixed in. It's not going to become part of the fluid, but it'll become like a harder part in segments of the fluid. So it just thickens the fluid. Like we take million weight, we make it 1.5 million by putting in a quarter earplug. And then we make it 2 million by putting in a half ear plug. And if you put a whole ear plug in there, you're just locked. I mean, it's pretty much locked. There is some give to it though, so it does have shock absorption when you go front to rear.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much locked. Like you're never gonna unwind the front when you do a wheelie or vice versa. You know, it's just it's there. All right, let's see if I can spin this. I'd probably just try just $1 million alone because it is a lot different than factory. Plus, you're getting away from the LSD setup because that might have the problem everybody has with LSDs, especially me, is they're inconsistent. As the fluid changes temperature, it changes viscosity, and it won't be as grabby when it's cold versus hot. So if you run through half a pack, it's like barely working. Yeah. So this will be a more consistent feel where it won't change from first start to half hour into a pack. It'll still be the same differential feeling, 90%. The fluid does thin out, but it's not LSD fluid thinning out, because with that pack in there, when the fluid changes, it changes a lot because it's a viscous coupling style thing. Come join us. All we want to have is your small mind. Turn you into one of our own kind. Come join us. Now, is this song about a cult or is it about a religion? Come join us. Oh, come join us. Come join us. You ever look into a place to fit in? Let's not invite people on the other side.
Okay, around the sun go on before this. Oh wait,
Big gear. You get big washer, big gear. Yep. And then that's got to set down to be flush. You get it locked in the pins. That was actually the last thing I was breaking is those gears. I used to snap the teeth off the back of them. And then I designed that, little shimming idea with the old shim. And I fixed that. But you don't really have to do it so much with aluminum cases. Plastic ones do flex a bit, though. I mean, when you look at the amount of torque we're putting through these things, we got plastic gearboxes. We're lucky if they hold together at all. I'd like to see what this thing actually puts out in foot-pounds of torque on a real dyno, like a car dyno. If this thing made like 10 foot-pounds or 20 foot-pounds, I'd be impressed. Oh, you use one of those lawnmower dynos. See how much I've missed so far. Reach out to me about content. And I'm sure. Yeah, no problem. I'm down. Ask me to do a live or something, but I don't have much interest in being. I understand that, bro. Very much understand that. We have had this conversation, and you're my bro, dude. I got you. I forgot to put my fucking axles. Anyway, all right. With this finished up. I got to sharpen this bit because I like you using this wrench, but not one that's at a 45-degree angle. Oh, and I rebuilt the shocks for this one last one, so I rebuilt the shocks in the Creighton, didn't I? Yeah, what was the Creighton? What can I say? That thing uses the shocks more than this does. This is just bouncing around like a little fucking monkey. That thing rips. That was probably one of the best. That was one of the top 3 runs I've ever had. That run that I did that I put on the video. If I would have landed the double and then gone up the other side, that would have been even better. But yep. And then make sure it's all pressed in and you couldn't all the way in there. So how deep that other one was. A little wiggle rotate so they all slide into place on the gear start to mesh. No, make sure on the other side. There you go. You're in now. I can see how deep it is. Yep. And then you want to put this guy in so you don't miss him. And then you can just drop the other side with the pin ready to go. So the other side needs the bearing, seal, big washer, small washer, pin, and then you go. And gasket. Gasket. And then you got the center to do, and that's it. And hopefully the gear meshes on that one is may the car god smile upon you, and we don't have to tear that one apart either. What? I hope so. Yeah. It feels like it. Because it'd be a lot looser if you didn't. Well, you know what? Put that one together and check. If that one has more play back and forth than that one, like internally, then you know you missed it. I don't think you did. I don't think I would have let you do that on the first one because I was watching you on the first one. Just to make sure that you didn't have to do it again because I don't want you to fuck up like I used. I got new blocks. Yep. Like a fucking band case or whatever the fuck. Not the first one I've had, but I can use that for shit. RC car stuff if I want.
And no shim on there.
No shim on the bearing on that side, no. It's only on the side to push that gear over. Get in that hole, you bastard. Oh, did I miss anything while I was gone? No. Now here I go. Hope it don't break down. I won't take anything. I won't give anything. It says I can't persist. Oh, I also shimmed all your axles. Did I tell you that? Yeah. So every one of your hexes has an axle shim behind it, like the same shim you put on the bearing on the gear. That's actually an axle shim, and so that's so like when you grab your wheels, they don't wiggle all over the place. Because if you got a 1/4 millimeter here, it's going to be a 1/2 inch at the end of the tire. So you tighten these up until the bearings get tight, and when you start feeling the bearings tight, you're overdoing it. Or if you have to push the pin in real hard with pliers, it should slide in no matter what. But I put a shim in every one of yours, and it slid right in, and none of them were tight. It's all good. So I just essentially tightened up the car without overdoing anything or having to go through any complicated process, which is always good. You've learned your lesson. Cool. We'll do it again. You know what I like about the stock armor wrenches that come with the V6 is the fact that you can sharpen them. They have a ton of meat on them, and the whole length of the shaft is hexed. So whenever you wear it out a little bit, you can just take it out of the grinder, flatten it back down, and you got a brand new wrench. And you can do that for probably, I'm going to say about 2 years. Till you can't get in that hole anymore. Yeah, because it's the same damn thing all the way up and down. And if you harden this, which is going to be hard because you got a plastic end, but you can heat up this much of it red hot without screwing up the rest of it, and dunk that bad boy and use motor oil, and there you go. Now it's going to hold a tip longer because the outside of the metal will be harder. That's so fun. I actually learned how to do that watching Fortune Fire and tried it, and it worked. I've done lawnmower blades, bolts, all kinds of shit. I've taught kids how to do it. Because, when you do that file test thing and it works, it's like, oh, shit. All right. I actually hardened a piece of metal. Yeah. Yeah, you and me. Please, I want to kill you, crucify you, before you buy your bud. You and me, together, I kill you, holy water. I want to kill you from the altar. Me. Oh, really, dude? You gonna start that? Okay, well, that's cool. I ain't got a problem with that. You're about to, though. There you go. So started semi-straight. You know, Christian, with your high and mighty air, your action speaks a lot. I can't hear what you're saying. Use your bleeding heart with all of your compassion. Why buy new hacks? Exactly. Especially if you can get a decent one and harden it. Because, I mean, trust me, that shit works. It doesn't work on stainless very well, but I don't know why. I think it's the heat thing. I think you have to anneal stainless. I don't know. I'm not enough of a trained metallurgist to tell you that. I'm just a self-studied monkey that only knows a little bit. Like butter. All right, so I'm going to try this stupid droop thing, like the stock truck, because those arms are dropped. So what's? Oh God, I might need new ones of these. Fucking, I just put those in. Okay, now we're good. That was a bunch of shit. All right, so let's undroop my truck here. Righteous proclamations. Oh, I've had some bolts there. Shit. I wanna conquer the world. Give all the idiots a brand new religion. Poverty and cleanliness and toil. In all of my decisions, I want. Yeah, I think bigger than the world. Yeah, you're there. Yep. That's it. Yep, get her in there. Get some Loctite on her. Good job, bud. I knew this would go smoothly because, you know, you won't just wander off into the distance mid-sentence when I'm actually trying to explain something to you because something shiny went by your face. Because I don't know anybody who does that. Love you, buddy, but come on, man. Get with it. I'm trying. I'm really trying. All right, stay. The way you look sometimes. Oh, that's why those are out. They're supposed to go on after the bumper, you big dumbass motherfucker. And I gotta do the bumper mod yet. Another one of my engineering treats that I've done to repair these things. Now, granted, the 6S did, or the V6 fixed a lot of issues, but I think if they took a couple pages out of my playbook and applied it to the V7 or the upgraded V6, I think they'd have a more usable, workable car that was easier to work on and still had all the same free performance advantages. Oh, they'll have a 7 someday. I mean, they had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You know, it's just like anything else. There's going to be a progression. The question is, will it be a revolution or an evolution? Will it be a whole new wild thing, or will it just be the same old shit with a couple upgrades? Not that the V6 is the same old. The V6 is almost a revolution, but it is still the same chassis, and I think that's about it. I mean, everything else has been changed: bulkheads, control arms, bumpers, you know, ESC. Oh my God, I don't want to do it. Wow, how far is this one? That's almost on the screw, so now I'm gonna put one back in that one. How bad you had to suffer? Is that really all you have to offer? Oh, hey, what's up, man? Just a trinit. I don't want to say that and upset you. Just at there. I guess I don't know, man. I'm trying, dude. What's up? Welcome to the channel. Anything I can help you with? I mean, any questions I can answer? I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not actually building a bulletproof differential right now. I'm in the process of finishing up my truck and going back to the next truck that I have to do bulletproof differentials on, which will be my wife's. So trust me, that one's got to be bulletproof. I was just resetting my droop settings because the V6 does not have the same droop settings that I run. And I love how the V6 handles out of the box. I was just driving one Saturday night in Northport. And I was just kind of giddy with how fun it was. It was just so easy. It's like you don't have to worry about anything. So I didn't go searching for differences. But being that me and Alan are both rebuilding our differentials right now on both trucks, he's got his brand new V6 next to me, and I've got mine here, my V5. And I'm looking over across, cheating on his paper, and finding little differences that I'm wondering, I wonder what that drives like. However, I'm making too many changes at once because you don't want to do that. The only thing I've changed on this thing setup-wise is the droop. The suspension still the same settings, except for the droop, obviously. But the differentials, oh, what? Well, no, I made a major change in the differentials, so I can't say that. I'm trying a stiff diff for the first time on a stunt truck because you usually won't give, but I'm going to try a stiffer differential because of the fact that when you're trying to do like a tail slide and you got one tire hanging off, then you can't run the other tire up to keep the car going because you're going to unload the diff. So I went really crazy on these. I went 500K front and rear plus quarter ear plug. We'll see. Where is my? There. Here's another tip. Don't run screws in your control arms to hold down your shock pins. Put little set screws in there. It looks cooler. All good? Okay. Well, cool, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you might check the stuff out again. We got a lot of cool videos. I jumped my Creighton off the parking garage, 4th floor. I just ran through a bunch of puddles the other day. That's on there. We did a bunch of cool skate park stuff the other day. As the last couple months, we've got our new guy Alan over here, who's super talented. Only been driving for like 6 months, and he kills it. He's probably better than me. And we got a lot of videos of him doing some insane tricks, like that sideways flip you like to do, where you do a half flip at the very end and just smack the brake. Freaking monster over there. But let's try the 500K with an earplug in my Creighton. What are you using your Creighton for? Are you like just bashing it? Or are you like running on street or running on skate park? Or because I have a Creighton that I've got experience of being a buggy, being a street racer with a Mojave chassis, 150 miles an hour through a TV. That's on our channel too. And then I turned it into a truggy by taking the Mojave chassis to Creighton, which is like 4 inches longer, and adding Creighton arms and links to it. So I made a big truggy. I call it the Spider. I have it here if you want to see it. I'll dig it out. It's down a differential and a motor and ESC right now because I blew up my other Hobby Wing combo. Off ramps mainly on grass. Okay, cool. Off ramps mainly on grass. You definitely want to go thick in the middle. I would go with like 1 million and try 1 million first. If 1 million's not enough and you're still unloading the front end on wheelies, add a quarter earplug or a half earplug. I'm talking about silicone earplugs for swimmers. You can get these at like CVS or any drugstore usually. And let's see, I would go with the Typhon. You're going to want a little more bite to the front for steering. So I would go with a 500 front, a 200K rear. Or maybe even a 200K and a 100K rear. It depends on how much diff you like, how much steering you like, how your car's set up other than the differentials, because the suspension can have a lot to do with that. Like if you got a really soft front end, it's going to steer a lot more, et cetera, et cetera. But that's where I would set those fluids up to start. Also shimming your diffs. I'm going to explain that in a minute, but if you don't have the time, I can just tell you real quick. Don't use those armor shims on the outside of your differentials when you put them in the case to set your gear lash. They suck, they bend, they twist, they're impossible. Put an axle shim underneath the bearing. So it does the same thing. It's pushing the bearing out, so pushing the case over, so pushing your gear into your gear. But you don't have to go and fight this tin foil that's going to break anyway. Start with a thin one, the thin one they make. That should set you up pretty good if you got a new set of gears. If you don't, you might have to switch to a thick one. But make sure no matter what, if you have a metal case, that Loctite, red Loctite is in these holes with the gear on it, set before you even assemble anything else. Because if you get any grease in these holes, that red Loctite won't hold. And this is what happens. This is bolt failure on a differential. You see how it's spotty? It's because that's where the bolts let loose. And you can see it's between bolts here and there. Now, if you have a ring gear that comes out like this, that's bearing failure. So either the pinion bearings, well, more than likely, the pinion bearings let loose and the pinion moved over and you just ripped all the gears off, teeth off the gear. So those are the two failures that you can have, other than internal failure, which crown gears will break once in a while. Yeah, dude, I thank you very much. I love that tip. We're actually about to have a video called Re-Engineering the arrma, and there's about 16 or 20 different ideas that I put into these things that have fixed stuff. Like, for instance, the thick tie rods in the back, run those for steering too. Friggin' bigger screws, not these mounts, these are M2Cs, but all the plastic mounts, back those out to 3mm. Your battery tray, open that up to 3mm, put 3mm screws in it. I have a tap for that size. Makes it easier. You gotta open up the holes and countersink them a little better for the bigger screws. But that battery tray will stay with 3mm screws. 3mm screws also, if you're running these guys, elephant ears, 3mm screws there. Yeah. Also, this is a TRL chassis for a Typhon, actually, because they're lighter and stronger than the stock one, and they're cheap on eBay. That's all I can rattle off right this second. Any other questions? I got you. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, me and Mike have been like sharing ideas for a long time. He is an amazing 3D printer. Here is one of Canadian RC 96's bumper springs. Yes, it looks like a frog. However, I have had bumper springs from other companies that have fractured and cracked and split and come apart, where no, this one doesn't do that. And I had them the same amount of time. So highly recommend those. Also roof skids. He's got ones that'll outlast the body pretty much. And they're solid and they're hard plastic and they slide good. I don't know if you do slide tricks on your roof with your stunt. Well, you have a Typhon, not a stunt truck. But we do tricks where like get under the roof and slide across something and come back off. And those things keep our bodies in shape and our bodies from wearing holes in them. So yeah, he's definitely check that out, man. He makes really killer 3D printed stuff. And if he doesn't have something you want, I'm sure he'll look into making it, because where there's a need, there's a product to fill a hole. Sound like a goddamn salesman. But yeah, man, we're all about sharing ideas and helping everybody out, try to enjoy this hobby as much as they can. And nobody enjoys this hobby with a broken car, because you can't drive the damn thing, unless you're shot putting your RC vehicle. So kind of like what I did off the parking garage, except for I was driving it. We just try to make everything better, tighter, run better, work stronger, do more fascinating tricks. Everything from freestyle to big air. I do most of my big air with my Creighton, but I'll launch this one once in a while. The Typhon, that's the guinea pig for launching shit. The Spider, it's huge. Actually, I'll show you. The suspension's together. You get an idea for the size of the car, because this is a Notorious, flat out. That's it's not extended, it's not widened, it's none of that. Oh, very big. Watch out for tires everywhere. Sorry, just don't trip on it when you get up. All right, so unfortunately, like I said, it's not together, but this is the Spider. So that's a Mojave chassis. That was my front end. And Creighton arms. So it's a Typhon. It's low. It's got Typhon body extended. Oops. But yeah, that's a fun little rig when it's all set up. Like I said, unfortunately, I tried to run an 8S on a Hobby Wing Max 6 G2 combo again, and it blew up again, just like the last time I tried to run an 8S on a Max 6 G2 combo. Don't do it. That's the only time they do blow up. Everything going along, buddy?
Yes, sir. I just had to put my body mask back on. Get out of the way.
You cool, man? You need a break?
Oh, yeah.
I know sitting here doing this shit for hours can wear on you, bro. Trust me, I've done plenty of it.
I was actually lucky. I got off like an hour early.
I'm hoping my mom actually comes through. She keeps telling me like every week, "Oh, I'm gonna work it. I'm working." Yeah, and I don't think she could see anymore, bro. Honestly, I mean, she's catching on. The letters on her phone when stuff comes up are bigger than her screen because she can't see any of them. I mean, she's fucking 80. Plus, she did a lot of hallucinogens when she was younger. That's how she met my dad. Yeah. Not that he was a drug dealer, but he was a hippie, and she wasn't. All right, here's another trick, in case anybody's wondering or watching. All right, so bumper, right? Figure out where it lines up. Figure out about where your bolts are. Mark that shit. Drill holes in the bumper so you can actually tighten up your bolts between runs. Because if your bolts get loose in your bulkhead, you're going to shred the damn holes, aluminum or plastic. So, you know how often your bolts come loose in your bulkheads just from vibration and running. So, you know what? Get access to them because the parts around where you're going to drill the holes are raised. And by the time this raised part comes off, you need a new bumper anyway. So you're drilling holes in the shallow part. It's not going to hurt anything. It's going to make it so that your car will last longer without replacement of parts, which is what we're all about. More smiles per mile. That is the goal. There's nothing worse than a fucking kid who gets a little Tyco piece of shit for Christmas. And he's all excited at the top of the world. And he runs that bitch into a telephone pole and breaks the fucking front end off it. And you can't get parts for it. And so he doesn't want an RC car for the rest of his life. And it fucks our hobby up. So I know what it is to have shitty fucking stuff. I've never had a Tyco car, though, except for the one we ran over in my driveway at the old house. To say the least, I'm an anti-toy grade car.
I'm ready for inspection.
I'm coming, sir. So we're checking the second front diff going in this time. Checking lash. Ooh, real good. This is the hard part. You gotta give it up a stinky pinky up in there. I like that a lot. I think that's gonna be fucking perfect when you tighten it up. That's like getting near zero already. So zero lash is possible when you have the tiniest bit on your diff before you put the cover on. Cover will give it just that extra little. But push your bearings in real hard. Hold your input yoke. Check your gear. There you got a 1/10 of a millimeter. You're on point, as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people don't want to have to deal with shimming shit that long to get shit that tight. When you do what we do with these trucks, especially freestyle shit, they will fuck diffs up nonstop. I used to change my wipes out every week. And then I learned how to build a bulletproof diff. And now we change them out. I don't think anybody's burned them up without doing at least 5 batteries. Sometimes 20. Sometimes if you start with a holding setup and all brand new parts and you do it exactly to my recipe, you'll get a year out of it. Probably 100 batteries. All right. Well, here's what you're doing. You're fighting against this part, trying to get under that.
Yeah.
So rotate that in order to free it.
You're right.
There you go. Simple little thing, but it's so aggravating when you don't know it. Dude, I am like out of good drill bits. What the shit? I mean, these are all hodgepodge salvage shit from the fire, but I think this one's for wood. Dude, if I can't drill a hole in a piece of plastic, that's just fucking retarded. All right, there's got to be a good drill bit in somewhere. Okay, that's not. That thing looks like it was run through hell. Yeah, it's been sharpened, but. All right. Came loose and still went through it. Finally. Piece of drill bit. Come here. Quit walking. I'm not trying to drill a hole in my dick, you know what I mean? Came with one, that's enough. it's not exactly square, but I wish I had my drill press. I would have been done. It would have been good. All right. So yes, now we have 4 holes, and you can actually get to your bolts. I'm gonna help him mess out of the bumper. Oh, more music. Yes. Oh yeah, we're still watching. What do you have to ask? Oh, you didn't have the camera on? No, I have it covered. Because Big Brother is fucking watching you. Now, I'm not a conspiracy nut, but I'll tell you something that actually exists. Oh, all right, man, later. Be cool. Anytime. There was a kid at the skate park who shut up when he was there. Yeah, he washed the microphone. Yeah, because people don't know, dude. Like, people don't. Who's searching on RC car bashing who's not aware of it? I didn't know what bashing was until I got back into the whole thing. Nobody thinks, oh, I'm going to buy a $800 car and I'm going to go try to break it. I mean, we're not really trying to break it, but we're fucking doing stupid ass shit with them. Like jumping off a fucking parking garage. Well, I'm an idiot, but whatever.
No, I don't think that's what arrma really is.
No. Dude, have you ever read their warranty? Good luck. Yeah, good luck, man. You really try to get shit. And dude, there have been people, Clockwood will tell you, that there have been people who have brought their 8 and 6S's back after just buying them and drove them off of whatever, or, ran them through water or jumped a building or got ran over by a truck, and they're like, yeah, this doesn't work anymore. Like, what'd you do with it? Nothing, I was just driving it. Okay, what are there tire marks on it? Yeah, it's like, I don't think that was normal use. I mean, what is normal use for a basher? I mean, it's one of those things. You just do it at your own risk. There's no getting away with it.
Hey, I seen this guy on Marketplace yesterday. He had I don't remember, it was an Outcast or a Notorious, but the whole 9 yards was aluminum. Yep.
I know what you're talking about.
They're selling it for like $2,700.
Yeah, Nick showed me that ad.
Did he?
Yeah, because Nick's always on Marketplace trying to find computers. And he was like, dude, look at this idiot. And I'm like, wait, you just called somebody an idiot? Let me see. Yeah. I'm like, oh. He's like, yeah, he did everything you always told me not to. I'm like, yeah, you're right. He did this. You have to have a sacrificial part.
Well, I don't understand if it's a speed though. Why would you add that?
Right. You're making it heavier, dude. Like, you're adding rotating mass. You're adding mass, unsprung weight to the suspension. Like, you obviously don't know shit about cars. Or RC for that matter. Speed build. You want to speed build a Notorious, first of all, it's going to be the most unstable fucking thing you've ever driven at 100 miles an hour because it's too short. That thing catches a side wind, you're done. I haven't told you about this. This is something I really want to do. About warranty issues. I've never used it because I just don't, because I know better, because I advertise what I do with the vehicle. All right, so do you know what a pan car is? A pan car?
I've heard of.
So it's like a sheet of fiberglass with like some little doodads that hold the front wheels and steer them. And then it's got like a separate kind of box to hold the motor and the rear axle in the back with a ball differential, and that's it. And you just stick a ESC on there and a motor, and it's just a piece of fiberglass essentially. Usually back in the day it was 6 cell batteries or whatever. So I'm gonna take one of those, right, and then bond some copper tubing to it with like a 180 elbow, and stick a parachute in the top and 2 D motors on a twin stage setup for a rocket, and then have like a wiper speed control, the old mechanical style in there, to ignite it. So I hit a servo and it kicks it over, and you just got steering and hold on for dear life and just launch that bitch. See what happens. 2 D motors in tandem on a dual stage setup can get you 2,000 feet in the air. So I don't know what it's going to do with that. But I'd like to try if I can find a cheap pan car when I have extra budget to waste, because I usually don't. But that's the idea.
Because nothing feels better than naked. Uncensored shine. Redkin.
Oh,
It's moments like this
all right.
keep us moving through life. So you can make moments like
That one I just put on the spider.
this.
I had it on the under truck, and I realized if I'm going somewhere and I got some kid bugging me to drive one of these things, if I can get him to leave me the fuck alone for a half hour, I might let him. But kids aren't good like that, so I usually don't have to let them because I tell them the rules and they break them, and they go, "Well, fuck you then." And then they cry, and some other kid yells at me because he's a dipshit. Just like the last time I was at the skate park. So anyway, not the last time, the time before that, but whatever. Oh, that's loose. That's not good. So it's going on the spider because if somebody asks me to drive something, that's probably what I'd hand over, and I need something at least to drop the rate down, turn it down a little bit so those kids doesn't fucking destroy the thing. Because when you turn shit down with the 6 or DS5, whatever the fuck it is, the big remote I have, you can turn down the throttle or the brake, but if you do the range, it does both, so you have no brakes.
Do you remember where they were stocked?
The shocks on top. Yeah, just look for the wear marks.
Well, this is a new shock though.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, look at Claire's. Same thing. So I haven't changed her shock position. But she does have a stock one. Her stock one is on the bottom, so I put yours in the middle. Yeah, because that one opens up a new adjustment downward. See what I mean? Like, this one only has your 2 top holes. Yeah, because that bottom hole is definitely lower than that on that shock tower. I'm running mine on the inside, but I like a more progressive front end. And at least I do now. I don't know how I'm going to like it after I did that mod that you have, or the stock droop mod. Because, dude, look how drooped out I am in the front now compared to the back.
Oh yeah.
Instead of just like yours. Well, you probably have a little bit more, but that's as far as I can go unless I move my shock towers or move my shock tower location. And like I said, I like that progressive setup. So, all right, top screws for my bumper spring. My Canadian RC96 bumper spring. Best bumper spring you can buy. I recommend getting them. They're better than some other bumper springs out there that are made by some other RC people with RC in the name that tend to crack after a while. What's up?
I said, and you get some fancy dancy colors.
Yeah, for sure. He's got all kinds of colors, man. We got green, white, black, blue, purple, red. I think that's it, but that's a lot. So, and I'm sure he'll do custom orders as long as they're big enough. That's what she said. I just hope my mom comes through that logo someday, or however many she said she was making 5 or something. What happened? In the hole, yes, you have to drill them. I got you. It's gonna be which one? Not that one. And it is, yep, it's this one. This one here, and oh, you got a driver right there. Yeah. Yes. Just gotta punch through some 51, 50, whatever. Whatever. That grade aluminum. They actually are that grade aluminum because after the house fire, when everything melted, I could actually see what was good metal and what wasn't. Jesus, this thing is just coated with something. There we go. Yeah, another time trying to put your hubs on, just take a little emery cloth and clean up your axle there. That's all that is. Either that or I put it on backwards because there's a nut on it. I'm just kidding. Oh, that's what it is. There's wear in the center from the outdrive, or the pin moving around because that one was loose. So it's got a knurl on it. It's got a little nubby. There's a nubby. So take that down with the file real quick, and there we go. Bingo, bango, bongo. No, still too much. Better though. All right. Yeah, there we go. Feel it. This thing really got torched. He's not gonna put it back together. Fuck. The fuck is this bullshit? That's some terribly mixed fucking music. You guys need a better fucking producer. Search for no FX. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put it one side. Transvestite light. That's so funny. Oh, no, that's not what I want back. Shit. Oh, that sucks. When will we have talk to text on our fucking remotes? Come on, get over there. Really? Can't even bounce this thing off the fucking wall. Come on. Fuck you. Piece of shit. Alright, fuck it. You good, bud?
One is just the same.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. This might be. Oh, no, that thing's broken. That's actually not even. No, that's what you need. Okay. Are you using? No, you're not using the arrma ones. You are using the arrma ones. Okay, so the arrma ones. Sorry, that size even would be for NPCs. No, you're using the arrma ones. So they're smaller. This one probably just quite big enough, but you can give it a hole and then just kind of. How's that? Oh, well, it doesn't fit though. No, it's too small. Okay. Need a little bit more than that. Yep, that's it. Because that is the next size up, and that's all the drills I give here are important ones like shit like that. Like the one to drill the control arms and all that stuff. So. It's not too fucking crazy. No, it just barely fits there, so that's it. Here, brother. All right, remote. Yeah.
It's alright if it's got a little.
Yeah, it was just fine. Put this one on, and then I'm gonna put something. All right. So this fucking asshole, but I'm done with this truck finally. Bam. Slid right in. Just like what's your name? All right, so we got that, and bang, bang, bang. It's gonna be the stiffest differential stunt truck I've ever driven. It's actually not that bad considering what it is. All right, tires to come later. See you, bitch. Well, all right, now on to the wipes, which I know need some work. We have years for it. So, differential building 101, mother effers. Let me get all my stuff together first. I'll only do this once and once alone. If you want to blow that off when you get done, I can fire up the air compressor.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right, so we need a case, gear, back case. No, let's take that one. Gaskets, seals, and help. No, she's got her own outlets. I'm not gonna give her my new ones. We're gonna need all the internals. So several opinions to try out and see which ones are best. If the one in her truck is not good, this one's got quite a good gear fit actually. So might use that. This one, I can't tell if the gear stuff's good or the washer. Looking for a high, different, and new. It was hard to find. Indoor, thing would have to do. And Porsche, joke, perfect romance. Okay. This one looks alright, but it's already out of the car and it's apart. Screw it. I'm gonna change it out. Fuck it. Alright. Plus, she doesn't have aluminum cases yet anyway, so let's hook a girl up. So, and pull this out, but this isn't the first step. Your very first step to building a good differential is getting your pinion gear or your ring gear stuck to your case with red Loctite and letting it sit with no lube in it whatsoever. Because any lube in those holes and those bolts will not hold, and you will have a spotted, fucked up ring gear. Oh yeah, I'll fire up the compressor here as soon as I get these shocks off and stiff out. Cause I gotta lock that thing anyway. Check some real quick. Was turning blue. Ain't anybody scared? Cause we were rockers on dope. No one really fucking cared. Alright. The nozzle leaks, so I took it off, but you just plug it back in when you're ready to use it. No problem, buddy. Okay, parts for differential. One. Actually, I need some screws out of this one. Maybe two. Need the tiniest little countersunkers. I need 8 of the little bastards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like I got them all right here. Alright. So that's done. You want to use clean bolts, either bolts you cleaned or bolts that are brand new. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Shorter shafts. Well, I don't know what I cleaned these in, but I took the fucking coating off them. 2 of those. 4 spider gears. And a partridge and a fucking pear tree. 4 flat plates. 1, 2, 4. And then you need 2 big washers, 2 small washers. You need 2 giant shims to take out the LSD stuff. Another one of them. Get these fuckers out of here. They're stuck to the bottom. Brand new. There we go. Actually, there's a new one of those. 2 new ones of those. And And then two of these, but these have been modified yet. And we do modify these washers. That one's been cut. So we have to go make one or two real quick. That's seals, yep, okay, yep, everything's there. Alright, so we're gonna be going to 200 on this one. Because we want to keep this as stock as possible for Claire, because that's the way she likes it. We're not going to use any of her internals. In fact, this whole thing is going to come apart and go into the dip, but we do need her outdrives, so we're going to have to disassemble it. Well, we don't. No, shit. Any good ones in here? That's not bad. Okay, that's all right. Okay, never mind. No, that's going to be torn apart later and going to the dip, because that's the way we do it. So. Or anything, check your bearing play. If you got bearing play, you gotta fix it. So, no, not a bad band, but no one I wanted to put on. That's supposed to be new. I don't know this. New Rancid song. Alright, we gotta figure out which one of our bearings sucks. This one sucks. So that one's gotta go. Then we'll figure out the other one to get it out of the hole. Alright. So. Alright, and this is garbage. Maybe shit with that. This is also trash, but I don't know if I have any more. So let's go check the stock before we go throwing shit away. Oh, you missed the drag shaft? Oh, you still gotta use center anyway. Never mind. Where are you at? That is one. Or this might be Lars Fredrickson and the Bastards. I can't tell. The same people go here. That's a lot better. All right, so we got some solid bearings to put in there, so that's good. All right. And then I'm going to keep the shim that's already on the pinion. Pinion gears got standard wear on it, nothing special. Pinions really don't get messed up. It's always a ring gear. All right, so now we got that squared away. We got one shim on the back of the pinion. Not the thinnest one you can find, but fairly thin. That's our starting point for checking in gear mesh. So we're going to build this diff, and we're going to throw it in there, and hopefully everything's all right. But I do have to find an axle shim first because I need one to shim this diff. And that one's all bent shit. There we go, right there, Brandon. That's a thick one, though. No, yeah, that's a medium. And this one is a thin one. All right. Well, let's go balls deep, and let's try the medium one because I don't want to not have to do this again, too. Have to deal with it. All right, so this case is actually cleaner. These have been washed, and the taps been run all the way through these back and forth to make sure that there's no leftover Loctite and shit like that, because this is the one step that can save your ring gear right here. I got Loctite over there, so I'm gonna just steal some. There's my glob. Red Loctite on the screws, trust me. You will have to take a torch to this case to get these screws out. But your ring gear might survive. Screw that bad boy down. Get it set. I'll go from there. As soon as we have intermission, I believe intermission is due. A little break to stand up, stretch your legs, walk around, take the dog out, go bang the neighbor's wife, whatever you gotta do, you know. Oh yeah, I've heard this. This is a new song. Alright. So there you go. All 4 screws, good and tight on the ring gear side. And then let that bad boy. You don't have to let it sit. I mean, once you got it in there and you got live tight on the threads, there's no other contaminants on the threads, you're good. That's the most important part right there. If that ring gear comes loose, and only if 1 or 2 bolts come loose, you're looking at that. No, actually, that's the wrong one. You're looking at that. Yeah, see, what? Wrong way. You're looking at that. You're looking at splotchy, broken teeth in certain places because it'll move around when the bolts come loose. So, there you go. All right, so that's that for now. I'm taking a break. So, man, back in this. I see there's a couple different people out there. Please sit tight. We've been on for an hour and 42 minutes. We're taking just a 5-minute break. Actually, Alan's leaving. I'm taking a 5-minute break, and then I'm going to go through the process of the bulletproof differential and all the stuff that goes with it. So, well, a bulletproof has to be all brand new parts, and you have to have aluminum bulkhead, aluminum case. I have aluminum case going into a stock 6S V6 bulkhead. But I'm going to make it as bulletproof as I can. But still, the assembly of the differential itself will be the same. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Alan had to leave and had to deal with some stuff in the house real quick, like getting dinner because I'm starving because I haven't eaten since I don't know 4. I eat many, many times a day. I just don't eat large meals ever. Not supposed to eat any portions bigger than your fist, according to most things I've heard. Not that I follow that rule religiously. I just that's the way my diet ended up. Eat more often, eat less. My God, this is like the slowest thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, now go. Yeah. Oh, God damn it. This is a pain. Just getting something for background noise. Anybody see anything in the meantime? What else should I get? 6 colors. 6 colors. Oh, what's the transparent one? The red one? No. Purple? I can't remember. Oh, you mean the clear one? Yeah. No, keep that because I use that. I like that because that works good on white. Because if you do a white, it's not going to match because whites are all different. All whites are they're a little bit different, like eggshell, and there's this and there's that, and no, I'd keep the white, the clearish one. I would definitely keep that. Also, it works in a pinch with other stuff as well. Not a fan of the green, to be honest with you. Not a fan. It's just a little light. Like a dark green like this, you can match that with like purple or black or even blue. That green is just kind of like Kermit the Frog's nuts. I mean, sorry. I'm right here so I can read and talk, but oh. All right, so Alan's got 2 diffs done. Still got to build a center diff, so he should be ready to go. I'm interested to see how he likes it with the new changes because he has gone up from stock fluids to 200K front rear and a million plus ear plug. Well, I don't know if it's going to do ear plug, but million in the middle, obviously. And I've gone psycho on that one. Well, mine. My wife's, I'm sticking with what she wants because I don't want to screw with that because that makes my life unhappy. I don't even know if it's hers anymore anyway. I mean, she didn't take it with her when she left, and I don't know. I haven't talked to her today because she didn't answer my text. Okay, solid, perfect diff. Here we go. Yes, please. I would like a darker green as well. All right, so shim. Like I said, axle shim. Start with the thin one. Bearing, outdrive, touch of grease. Oh, seal. Yep, big washer. Crap. Lots of those rings. I think he's got somewhere I could steal from it. Small washer. And then gotta get those all the way down. Oh yeah, I need some dry pins too, don't I? Right. Diff box. One. Again for that. These are magnetic tools, they really do. Like that. Alright, so drive pin. Always make sure your drive pins fit the back of your gears. Shit. Crown gears. Might not have any. That's one thing I forgot for sure. No. I got some. Those stacked in the strap pile of gears. Come here. One broken gear. We have 2. We do. That one's also unbroken. All right. Drive pins. Always take them, put them through your out drive, and check them in the back of your dip ground gear. Because there are pins that are very, very close to the pins you need that you don't want to put in there because they're not right. Your gift will go together, and it will operate, and it will break. I guarantee it. So make sure that your drive pins fit snugly into your crown gears. Like I said, there's different pins out there that look very, very similar and will fit, but will not work in the long run. And so far, we're batting 0. These are all too damn thin. I know I got some in here. That's probably it right there. Well, that's too long also. Once I find one that works, I'll show you how close they are. That's not one in there. And then some stuck in the wall hole. Some areas. That should be it. No, too small. I don't actually have any, apparently. That's pretty damn fine. So we have ones that are right down there, but they don't fit. See, like it'll sit right there on the edge of the gear, and it's just because it's too long by a tiny bit. It'll fit in the slot, and it's actually a really good fit, but it's just a hair too long. So you can take these, whatever the hell they're for, maybe the old differentials, the non-EXPs, and grind them down a little bit. Which is actually not a bad way to do it because you can make them perfect and fit, super tight. Yeah, I know, Brody, there's food. I can't eat right now either, bro. I'm kind of busy. So, all right, we'll just bite the monkey here and trim these down a little bit. Hopefully I got an easy way to do it. Oh, kind of. All right.
Sell tickets. And all these people here, we just gotta fucking. Did you call it bandbitten? Bandbitten, that's good.
I'm thinking might just be a little flashing. It's keeping it from going in.
Hey, you guys, put your masks on.
Perfect. There you go. So that's one way to do it. Like I said, there's several different pins that are very, very close in the arrma lineup. I don't know exactly where they come from, but they're in my kit. So not the greatest thing to be grinding metal over your bearings. Just saying. I'm an idiot. Whatever. All right, I'm right on the edge. I got this. There's other little wussy pins. I don't know if they're for. Come on. Oh, shit. Yeah, I think it's got some flashing on it. A little bit of shit hanging off the edge. That's it, though. I mean, it's right length. Not feeling it rough. I just shit. Yeah, there we go. Fits just about. It's still sticking up a little bit on one side. It's still just a hair too long. So. And I know this is nitty-picky bullshit, but go ahead want to do this right, you gotta have tight tolerances. Because these things rock and roll and they slam stuff back so hard inside their cases and whatnot. I mean, they beat the hell out of themselves. Just the amount of torque you're applying to this drivetrain is a lot higher than you would think. It's a lot higher than any normal or not normal road car, such as a hypercar. Horsepower per weight on these and torque per weight is way the hell above hypercar standards. I'm not going to say top fuel dragster, but you're in the ballpark of monster truck. In fact, I think he's put out a lot more horsepower than a monster truck per pound. I mean, monster trucks weigh a couple tons, right? These things weigh 15 pounds. Yeah, just saying. All right. All right, come on.
Wow, you're good at filming, Pat. It's the camera, it's not me. That's an awesome phone. Yeah, you should see his drone shots. He's a really good guy. He's a good photographer, too. The camera guy has a no effects too. So do I. And you know what? He's in Hyper Crush.
No fluid in any of the bolt holes. Super important. Alright. There we go. Gear pack. Gear. Plate. Done.
Where you from? Oh, you have one too.
Usually assembly is dry and check them first, but I'm just going to add a shim to this one because I got a lot of used parts in here. I'll show you how to shim them internally too, to take up the play between the spiders and shit. Essentially what you're going to do is use one of those old worthless shims that used to try to put around the bearing and put in the case. And they used to bend and tweak and fall apart. Take one of those and put it between that big ass washer that I cut grooves into and your crown gear. And that will take up just enough space to take up some room in there.
He was going to come, but then I invited Fletcher, and he said, well, I'm not coming to Fletcher's coming.
You can, if you can actually get all that crap out of there, because God knows how hard that shit is to move. I've never been able to do it. Once there's screws in one side, the only way to do it is to take them out 2x2 on each side, lined up, and run giant fucking bolts through them. Like, where's the one I was using? Freaking, like a 2-inch long, or I don't know, what do you say, 100 millimeter long freaking socket head, and just run it through the threads to clean it out. Yeah, but I'd just rather have it done to begin with. Alright, so try to get everything meshing together and get that crown gear set all the way down in there as deep as possible, because that's where it needs to be. And then I like to line them up with my bolt holes, so when I put the cross pin in from the backside, I know which way it goes because it lines up with the holes. Right, then we got that. Backside to build yet. Okay, yeah, we're going to put one spacer in here. So, now that he can't drink. No, that is fucking good. Okay. How the hell go? No, that's not here. Yeah. Stuff not yet put away. That's what this basket is. I still need to organize. All right, well, there's one. All right, so yeah, these little worthless shims that arrma wants you to use for diff shims, yeah, they suck. Put one of them on there, that washer in there, and that will take up, make sure it sits on it so you don't have it held up. That'll take up some of the slack in the spider gears. Less shock. Come on, just stay. In place. Thank you. Brody, I don't have any food. I don't know where you're looking at me. Food's over there. All right, bearing. How dry. Grease. Oh, that's a lot of grease. Yeah, whatever. Seal. Where did my big washer go? Son of a bitch.
Why are you poking me, Pokey?
Well, I hope one of those went in there. Shit. All right, well.
Is anybody taking stats? Because I'm 0 for 3. I'm playing songs.
Right.
Does anybody care at all?
Fair enough.
It's just the same as it was in 1980.
Move, Brody.
There was
Move.
a lot of jazz notes on that last
Move.
bass. I wish Frank Turner was here. It was go better.
Yeah, I gotta get the one I transfer.
Okay, now we're gonna play songs we don't know how to play. That was weird. This is gonna get real weird. I know the lyrics to the songs, I learned them and I know them.
And then,
I just thought
or you can press it all the way. Go ahead and put the bolts in it. That way it doesn't suck it down.
Yeah.
Or have any of that grease possibly get in the holes.
And I could sing this song.
Get the Loctite in there first. Even though this is not the dangerous side, the other side is the side that will screw your dick up. On this side, it'll just come loose.
The sun's out. Well, it would work. Would not work.
Yeah, I've been up all night, and then the sun's out.
I like you because you're doing that thing with your belly. You're laughing. You're showing it. You look like you're in the Wanderers, dude. You're like someone's father. Looks like you combed your hair with a pork chop.
You need like a native sign language.
I mean, who owns this place anyway? The owner of this property must have a lot of money. This guy's got more bread than prison meatloaf. No, the guy who owns it has a lot of money.
More bread than a prison meatloaf. That's good.
That's why I'm fucking pouring myself out today.
Oh, yeah, pipe cleaners. Right, we talked about that. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad way to do it. It's not even an inefficient way to do it. It's a good way to do it. But everybody does things differently, and that's my thing. So I'm going to stick with it. Rather just have it done than have to go back. But I guess if you spill shit, you definitely want to go in there. But this should be one solid motherfucker. And not removing. Yeah, she's not terribly happy, but it's because that shim I put in was bent. It'll be fine in a second. But it's good and tight. Now it's good and tight here. Motherfucker. Get in the hole. Now. Really? I'm gonna try this on me. All right, so we've got about a half mil play, but we've got some binding somewhere because it feels like it kind of almost feels like the pinion is rubbing on the case, but I think it's more that it's an old pinion in a brand new gear, so that the teeth profile is not perfect, and so it's slightly rubbing, but we'll be all right. But the internal play works out because that's kind of notchy right now. It's probably because that shim was bent, but it should flat out fairly quickly as soon as it gets a beat down.
We're going to do this every day until we get it right. Quick word from our sponsor right here in my hand. What's the word? Liquid death. You said quick word from our sponsor. What's the word? Liquid death.
Do you guys have a word? I have to go to the second time. That's like, gimmick? Something?
All right, so hands clean here and tighten all that down, and that'll be done.
I have 4 refrigerators in my house full of liquid death.
Oh, hello, other people. Sorry about the bad camera thing going on with the top one right now. I couldn't get it to zoom in without screwing a bunch of shit up. And, well, you know, maintenance sucks when it's stuff you don't want to work on. That's a little bit, I guess. Yeah, it's stretched and it's fading in. I don't know. I tried to zoom it in. It wouldn't zoom on. I'm not the greatest at this. I could probably just make it smaller, actually. But then we'll have open screen. Yeah, let me try this shit. Yeah, I should look right. And then transform by reset. Well, there we go. How about that shit? Well, that won't work. Get around and fuck my head. I guess that's as good as that can get. Maybe I should just put it down here or something. I don't know. It's definitely a better picture, but that should come back in a second, I think. Hey, there we go. Yeah, it's still kind of crappy, and I still can't clean it up. So I'll work on it in the off time. In the meantime, you're stuck with me. All right, so that diff is done. Don't worry, we're doing another one, but it's gonna take a minute. So I gotta take the other end of that car apart. Yep. Where is my drill? What did he do with my fucking drill? Here, watch me eat this carrot. Yes, I'm borrowing your driver. If the battery goes dead, I'll charge it at work. I've got chargers. I have the same stuff. Okay, Alan? If you're watching. Ooh. That's a little stringent for this kind of work. Yeah, you really don't want to use something that powerful.
I heard one person go, hypertrophic, yeah!
I can talk to him. He's got DMSO.
Yeah, I'm gonna need those. That hole is definitely fucked up.
We can talk shit about country fans in India.
Oh, yeah, gotta go deeper. All right. So stock cases don't exactly have the deepest bolt holes compared to what they're capable of. So if you got a hole that needs some fresh threads, just find a drill that's smaller than the bolt, drill it through, retap. On the top holes, bottom holes, of the gear case, you can go all the way to the bottom. All the way until they come out the back. Of course, you gotta have the right fit. I don't know where in the hell it went. Here's the cap. I guess I could try and run that through. And I need to go. There it is. The hell did I just step on?
Save that for the campfire. The sock of death still on the Grant, I don't even remember. It's too long. It's too soft. I have a feeling there's more than one sock of death story. Chris used to be a fighter in New York.
He could have an 8-ball in a sock.
Okay, he's not talking about cocaine.
Felt like someone.
He's not talking about cocaine either. He's 8 balls from the pool. He smelled it and there was a hole. And some guy said something like, "Hey, I really like your band."
There we go. Okay, it's not bogus on the road.
The sock of death. And he started twirling it and there was a little.
If you do have the 6S and you run, or the V6, I'm sorry, V6 6S, and you're running without sway bars, or even if you're not running without sway bars, that hole on the top of the diff there, where I got that bolt just sticking out right there, yeah, that's an open hole. So you can get water and dirt into your diff through there. Put a bolt in it. Arrma didn't. So, right lock out of this as well. Left over here. Yeah, there we go. Enough for one screw.
See that sound that's covering the sun?
Right lock tight.
Teleprompter, dude. They're getting old.
Get there.
They're all there. They're just kind of covering each other. That's it, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, hold those. All right, hold them up. First one for him. Oh, yeah. It's not some. This is going to be great. This record doesn't have choruses. It's just stories. I think we're going to get some.
All right, there we go.
We're doing some.
Yeah, it's a little snug, but it should be fine.
I'm going to break dance fight with you later.
I guess right there. All right, let's see pulse real quick. All right, that's ready to go back in. So yeah, greased and ready to put back on the truck. And then, yeah, I think I'm just gonna sit here for a minute and just shoot the shit. Bob Barker. Arrma sucks, and you will be building those dips again real soon. Would you like a bet, bro? I've had dips last over 6 months. All right, and not only do Arrma can suck unless you re-engineer it and fix it. But you know what sucks even more? Your wife, because bro, balls deep in her face last night. You should check that out. I got video if you want to see it. You got any naked pictures of your kids? You want to see some? Blow me. You're a piece of shit, dude. You go piss people off for no reason because it makes you feel better. Hopefully one day you'll grow up and you'll realize that pissing people off is pointless because it just agitates everyone and it's extra energy spent for no reason. And being polite to people actually gets you a lot more shit. So go fuck yourself, Bob Barker. You know what? You're a fucking disgrace to the actual Bob Barker, who's a real humanitarian and a pet lover. And you're a piece of shit. And you know what? I think I'll even report you. Yeah. Go fuck yourself. Yeah. Report. There we go. Misinformation. Harassment. Hate speech. Oh, I can't have both? I can't have misinformation and harassment? Well, whatever. I mean, one or the other.
Just so you know, Jim, he makes Bukaki movies. This is, let's say that gotta be the fisting. Actually, I have 2 fisty gloves in my room. The rubber. Uh-oh.
Okay, so they won't let me do both. So.
Check your temperature.
You're too hot. You say you're too
No, they won't let me report you on bullying, so I'll go with misinformation.
We've been playing for 30 minutes.
And I'm going to block you. And I hope you get in a bad rollover accident and get ejected from the vehicle. And as your lifeless corpse is slowly bleeding out on the side of the freeway, right before you actually pass out and can still feel, a moose comes out of the woods and rapes your asshole. Because people like you don't deserve to breathe. And I hope you're not breeding, for God's sake. Rant done.
Oh my God, we haven't finished side one yet.
That was fun, huh?
This is going on.
Fuck you, Bob Barker.
How do you think we should not play for record?
What a piece of shit.
This was the group, so yeah.
I mean, really, it's probably like some 12-year-old kid, you know, in his parents' basement, jerking off with fucking the Sears catalog and, you know, eating Cheetos, you know, pimples all over his face, fucking farting in a beanbag. Fuck that kid. Anyway, other two people that are here, I'm sorry that I'm kind of done for the day. I'm beat. I did a 10-hour shift, and I just did 2 hours and 27 minutes worth of live cast about building differentials. If you have any questions, by all means, please ask. I will walk you through any process we do, because I share information freely, because I believe that's the best way to enjoy our hobby. So by all means, but I'm kind of done with the building stuff. I might just police my area, so to speak. But I'm kind of beat. It's just, it's catching on at 8:30. So, you know, my old ass has to be in bed to get up and go to work in the morning. I'm just kidding. I stay up till midnight. I don't care. So, yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, I can tell you the recipe real quick. So, if you want to build a solid, perfect differential, get an aluminum case that costs more than $50. Get an aluminum actual differential case. Like the arrma ones are fine, they're cheap. Brand new gears, pinion, ring, internals, crown gears, spider gears. Put the whole thing together, dry. First thing you do is you put your your ring gear on your differential housing with red Loctite and leave it alone for, I don't know, a couple hours, whatever. Then you start putting the diff together, red Loctite only. You will have to take a torch to it to take it apart, but that's the only thing that's going to hold your ring gear on. Because if your ring gear bolts come loose, you get this nice little spotted eating teeth effect. Because that's the gear flexing because the bolts have come loose. If your bearings go to crap, then you get one of these where it takes all the teeth off. Brand new bearings also. And you set it for, so we don't shim them from the outside like arrma says to do. We take the gear like so and take an axle shim and put it right on there and then put your bearing on it. And that's going to do the same thing as putting those stupid little shims on the outside. So push that over. That's how you set your ring gear. I usually use a really thin shim on the pinion and on the ring gear to start, and hopefully you're good. Otherwise, you have to take it all apart again and do it again. That's why I check them dry first before you put lube in them, so you won't contaminate the holes and your red Loctite won't stick. Also, these big washers, if you don't want an LSD, put notches in them to carry grease on both sides. I put 4 in each one. This is a kind of a half-assed one. I probably did on the grinder. That will hold grease between the shims and the crown gear, because the crown gear's got serrations in it already. But if you put serrations in this, then you won't wear out that big shim that's at the bottom by the seal. If you need to tighten up the gears on the inside, you can use the original diff shims, and you put one of those between the crown gear and this particular shim or washer, spacer, whatever you want to call it. Once you've assembled it dry, you put it in, check your clearance. You should have about a 0.5 millimeter of play before you put the case cover on. You put the case cover on, you should have 0 play with no drag. If it binds, then you're too tight. If it's too loose, you're too loose. Like I said, if you start with all new components on a brand new one, it'll probably last you a good 6 months to a year. That's the way it usually works. And we do a lot of freestyle driving, which involves very heavy belted tires. Like these. Yeah, we're running these on the 6S. So they're massive. They're heavy. And we do standing back flips, double standing back flips, standing front flips, triple flips, nose stalls, wheelies, freaking multiple flips. And you've seen the videos. We do all kinds of stuff. But it's the stuff on the ground when you're bouncing back and forth on throttle, on brake, doing stuff like that. That really puts a lot of torque through it, and that's what can bust your gears up. So if you follow all that, you should be in pretty good shape. I don't think I left anything out. If I did, it'll be in the re-engineering arrma video, which will be coming once I remember everything that I've done on this thing and put it into writing, or at least a list. All right, okay, fuck. I guess everybody left. Whatever. Good shit. Probably done anyway. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Already went through the process. Not doing it again. Oh, yeah, there we go. Nice. Perfect. Yeah, that'll last forever. Well, at least somebody is. Everybody else is like, okay. Oh, now there's 4 people here all of a sudden. Okay. Wow. Hi, everyone. So yeah, already did 3, 4 differentials today. So we're kind of done. But if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them because I am here. I just don't feel like turning wrenches anymore. My fingers are sore and tired. Did 10 hours of car work today, real cars, 2.5 hours of RC car work. I'm good. Adam, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Well, okay, so I already did. Well, our boy Alan was here, not your Alan. Our new Alan, the talented kid, the one with the yellow and blue truck, does all the cool stunts. He was rebuilding his differentials. He did his front and rear tonight, first time. I did my. He needs to do a center yet. This is the rear diff off of Claire's truck. I just redid. I need to redo her front. I don't know. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. Claire moved out, by the way. Yeah, she's living over at my buddy Jesse's house. I told her to go visit the kids for a while, or that she needed to, and she said she thought that I meant move out. So Claire's moved out, and I don't think she's coming back because I've had certain text messages go unanswered that if somebody cared for you, they would answer them. I mean, we had dinner and a movie the other night. It was Friday night or Saturday night, whatever. But I don't know. I'm not worried about it because her depression was bringing me down big time. She's been depressed ever since the kids left, and then the dog died in the fire, and then the fire on top of that. And she doesn't handle shit like I do, and she needs professional help. And I pretty much told her if she doesn't find professional help, then we're kind of done. And I think that's when she decided we were done. I don't know. I don't know if she decided that or not. Seems like it at this point, but I care either way. Nonetheless, I'm going to be happier nonetheless. I'm happy right now. And I'll continue to be happy. But if she doesn't seek professional help for her depression, then I'm not dealing with it because I don't need it. Got enough problems right now. So there you go. Yeah, no, it's all right, man. I'm good, dude. I'm fine. There's no reason for me to be unhappy. I'm almost 50. I ain't got a lot of years left where nothing else is gonna be fucking my life up. Like arthritis and carpal tunnel, and the fact that I need foot surgery and all kinds of shit. So there's no reason for me to hate my life at home because somebody else is bringing me down because all they do is sleep. So there you go. I'm good, man. I'm great. I'm top notch. Adjusting. And I got Brody. Right, Brody? He is dead asleep on the floor right now. Love you, buddy. He's waiting for me to have dinner so we can get in on it. But yeah, I don't know if you saw the last couple of videos, Adam, but we did some craziness. Just some badass tricks, dude. I went to Northport Saturday night with me and Nick and Alan.
Okay, this song is going to be a disaster, everybody. So please talk amongst yourselves. It will be a fabulous disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, this is life on the back nine, bro. That's exactly what it is. Great song by an awesome band called Authority Zero out of Arizona. Life on the back nine. Because yes, we are living life on the back nine. Half or more is over. Hell, I didn't think I'd live to be this fucking old. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I mean, just the last couple of shorts, except for the one where it's just a channel update. The last couple of shorts were pretty cool. Alan shredded the skate park Saturday. I shredded the skate park Saturday. Nick went absolutely nuts like he does with the 8S. I'm surprised he didn't fuck it up when he bailed it, but yeah, those were cool. And yeah, sorry about the screen mix-up thing. I'm trying to get this all sorted out. What are you using to do dual cams? Are you using a program or like I had to download a couple programs. I had to download Camo to use my phone, and I had to download OBS to use two cameras and run split screen. And it's kind of a bitch with YouTube because you gotta bounce it. You gotta like not have the camera hooked up until you go through the process of setting it all up because it tries to take over the camera while virtual cameras also try to take over the camera. I'm sure there's a setting I could change, but I just can't be bothered. And yeah. I guess I could bolt this to the truck. Let's get it mounted. I'm just tired, man. I don't need that anymore. Yeah, I definitely need to do something about the shading on these lights, and I gotta get that damn camera to zoom right, because that looks like shit. What did I do here? Go to this. Hold on, so let's see if I deactivate that. OBS. Send this in. And
Yikes. Yeah.
I wonder if I do that.
I made something magic happen. Yeah, you made up words. Made up words that were a lie. And I made up chords, so.
All right, let's try that.
Who let me down? Well, stop at the same.
Yay, I did it. Cool. I actually finally got it to zoom properly. It's actually a different setting. But there we go. Now I gotta zoom out a little bit, but you guys can actually see what the hell I'm doing. I can't read the text right now because I'm in the middle of this, but I will get right back to it. That's probably more out there. It's probably better. You can actually see what the hell I'm doing.
Brother, right?
So yeah, there we go. All right, that's a lot better.
Come on, dude, be stoked.
And it transferred over to the screen, so it looks way better.
Oh my God, Pat has the
Cool. All right. So now. All right. Cool. Now you can actually see what I'm working on. Oh, this is probably reusable. No, it's not. Holy shit. So that. Oh, there we go. That is bolt failure. Right there. Took the teeth out. That's because that bolt right there next to those teeth missing. Or those two next to it. Nope, right there. The one right behind it. Right. Came loose. Flexed out. Bang the teeth. Done. So, here's that one. So many parts. And I gotta make more washers for my cut washers. All that shit. Alright. Alright, what are you doing on the fucking hardware? Well, that's great. Put the truck in the box, but you need to put all the hardware in the box. Oh, what's this stuff? Come on. Seriously? That is right in there. There we go. All right. Now we just want to put this back. Bringing me down. And you missed it a minute ago. Some Traxxas fanboy probably came on here and started talking shit about arrma. It's like, fucking, I don't know why you're rebuilding them armor diffs. You're going to have to rebuild them again real soon. And then took off and didn't answer anything. And was like, just being a bitch. Some little monkey. So I reported his ass and blocked him. And it's like, and his name is Bob Barker. Yeah, okay, dude. Like, seriously, man, get some balls, dude. If you're going to come up and bust people's nuts on their channel when they're doing a live stream, at least have the dignity and the actual presence to back it up. Otherwise, you're just a piece of shit. If you're gonna run your mouth, then sit down and have a conversation. And let's see if your opinion is actually worth the shit, because it's probably not. Just saying. So, not The Price is Right, Bob Barker, but whoever that piece of crap that named himself Bob Barker, who was just on my channel a little while ago, can definitely wait until I go to a hippie festival and do hallucinogens for 3 days. No, I'm just kidding. But, don't shower for a day or two while I'm at a rock concert, and then he can definitely lay still while I plant my taint directly on the bridge of his nose. And in fact, use the bridge of his nose to split my coin purse. Because, everybody deserves a little Irish goggles once in a while. Oh, that is so stripped. There are no threads left there. And, yeah, that one's biting in. Okay. So, I guess we'll last ditch effort this case, because I don't know what's going to happen with this truck. It might leave. It might stay. If it leaves, it's got to be paid for. Because apparently next he'll make a payment on it due to lack of communication on his part. But I don't know. It might end up being mine. In that case, I don't know what I do with it. Keep it. Get rid of my loose truck. You only need one, really.
I do.
So last ditch effort. Crazy glue and hope it gets threads.
I don't like to work it.
We'll leave it alone. Bolt might be too big, but you also need to modify this bumper so you can get to the bolts. playing one of my standard fixes. Yeah.
Jet peanut oil. It's that jet peanut oil you dress like a squirrel for. Try jet peanut butter chocolate flavored
Alright, now drill this dull shit.
3 times more sweat protection. Same pressure and the secret.
Trying to drill a hole in my leg at the same time. Where the hell?
Craving bold flavor? You want to flash serving up 2 new
Last thing I want to step on.
inspired by authentic Mexican recipes.
Goddamn counter.
Retro beef barbacoa.
So, there's that.
Get it your way with tacos, burritos, flautas, and
Damn it. Drop the movie. Alright.
corn dips, starters, creams, craveable, and serve with fresh
Okay,
fruit.
so
But hurry, these flavor-packed favorites.
I'm just going to pull this diff out the regular way, I guess. Let's see any point in doing all the extra work. Take on your chest. Hip, hip. Rising the countryside. Who's hopping with your chest? Where the hell is my guitar? There it is. Did you guys tell me it was on the other side of the car? Okay. Yep, there's gotta be a broken off bolt. Yep, sure is. That's a stripped out fucking hole. Alright. Yeah, it's a problem with certain drivers. They just don't understand the car changes feel when shit breaks, so you gotta actually check it. Yeah, but they don't want to do anything. They just want to drive it. So, hi, Brody. What, buddy? You know, I'm almost done with this shit. And life will be a lot better if you just, you know, let me do my thing for a little bit more. A little tough on the bumper, but that's how you put a 3 mil in there anyway. Like I said, who knows? Alright, front diff then. Okay, upper mode. Alright, so there we go. Actually, let's check this out. It's got like no play to it whatsoever, so let's see if we got any busted up shit here. Oh, yeah, this one. Yep, we got flat spots, we got missing teeth, we got the whole 9 yards. New diff. Alright. And as usual, the pinning gear's fine. So, alright, one more time and build another diff. So, we will go through the entire process of the perfect differential. But this time, I'm going to need some parts. So, I take at least some shit out of this thing. And don't really have the time to gasoline and all that shit, especially out drives. I need some out drives. Wrong one. All right.
Everybody you work with, everybody you work with.
That's because I have to.
Bolts. We got bearings. We need that. We need gears.
Are you outside? You part Mexican?
Let's stop real quick.
Is there a little Mexican in you?
Do you want some?
You want one?
You can tell us when to stop and when to start. Where's me and him there? See? Oh, yeah.
There you go. There's your shim.
We are
So,
single, aren't we?
Yeah, we're single.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
gear pack.
It's meant to be.
Oh, my God. Stress free. It's fucking beautiful.
I got this on.
I got no problems.
What happened? Let's do the song.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Let's see it. It's covered in grease. What the hell? And okay, now we have our parts. We can go to diff. But yeah, I'm gonna need to grind these washers or these ones because I am completely out of ground washers. She's gone. And it's not gonna be all right. So give me a second to grind these washers and clean the blue because there's a lot of shit on these, you know. Silicone's very hard to get off. Ain't nothing like axle grease. It's way the fuck worse. Hey, cool spawn. What's up, buddy? Yeah, it's been a wild afternoon. I had some heckler come up and fuck with me. Some douchebag, probably some 14-year-old teenager, farting in a beanbag, jerking off the Sears catalog. You know what I mean? But I blocked his ass and reported him. He was a little piece of shit. Called himself Bob Barker, which is, I don't know if you know, the host of The Price is Right, or was the host. Well, yeah, I was the guy that said The Price is Wrong, bitch, in the Adam Sandler movie, Happy Gilmore. That's that dude. Yeah, there you go. It's probably where most people that are younger than 35 know him from. Anyway. I'm going to start selling these for $1 on eBay. Maybe I'll make some money because I'm tired of having USB stickers and bullshit. Okay, so for the Life's car, I got one more diff to build. And I've already done 5 today. I'm not really in the mood, but we got to do another one because we need another one. And this will be the last one. This is how to do a absolutely 100% bulletproof armor diff, except I don't have a metal case, nor all brand new parts. But if you had all brand new parts, metal case, metal bulkhead, I have a metal case, I don't have a metal bulkhead, then you would have what I consider a bulletproof diff, or as close as you can get, if you shim it exactly perfect the right way, because it's the only way to do it. You got to have exactly perfect clearances. You want to clean aluminum diff cases, get a nice long screw, put it in your drill,
And there will be comedians here. There'll be
run it through.
Ew. Damn, somebody doesn't know how to do
There it is. All right. Okay, so some screws. Shit.
Oh,
Right.
yes. The song for all the beautiful gals. I'll get you
Yeah,
out of
I
the
was
sleep
able
with
to
all
go there.
that. With my coat and
Oh, shit.
I'll get you out of the sleep with all that. Wake up with ball delay. You got so loaded, you thought that she's the most beautiful gal you ever did see. I'll get you out and go to sleep with all that. And wake up with ball delay.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. 8 new or recycled screws, washed, cleaned, whatever. You don't want to use any bolts that have just been used or any bolts that have any grease on them whatsoever. And they all need to be coated with red Loctite, which in this case is going to be the easiest to just do this. Pop. Pop.
Thank you very much. You don't have to go home. You can stay here for next week.
Next, we have the next 7-fold.
Alright, well, it's definitely plenty of Loctite. So, got to mod these shims out real quick, so you're going to have to give me a minute on that. And then we got everything else we need. Actually, before that, I'm going to bolt on that gear. Like I said, that is the number one thing. That's the first thing you do. Take a clean case, a clean gear, and a gasket, preferably newer, if not new. Bolt that bad boy down with red Loctite. Let it sit. No grease anywhere means no possibility of contamination, which means shit might work. Because that is one of the biggest failures on differentials is these bolts coming loose and that ring gear gets loose and then it starts flexing and doing weird shit. There we go. The hell is that? Flying monkeys. Ooh. A little crazy there, huh? Alright. So, really? So, tight. And now I'll go to the washers because now that'll be set by the time I get back. So I will see you guys in a short minute. Please talk amongst yourselves. Decide how you want me to meet my demise, because apparently that's what the internet users are planning these days, like Bob Barker. Fake Bob Barker, whatever his name was. His name's probably like Kevin or Camden or what's some other douchebag white kid name? Fucking Taylor. Fucking, some faggot in a goddamn shirt with an alligator on it. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I have a fairy godfather. I love gay people. I actually am kind of not a fag hag, but they call it a fruit fly when you're a straight dude who likes hanging out with gay guys. They're just fucking hilarious. I mean, that's all there is to it. Yeah, man, I'm good, dude. I'm good. I'm solid, bro. I'll talk to you later if you want. I mean, yeah, no, I'm just, I know I seem very downtrodden. I'm just very, like, in thought at the same time as I'm doing stuff about everything that's going on with my life. As you know, is quite fucking crazy. Yeah, man, I'm good. I could use actually I have a shirt that says, hopeless romantic seeks filthy whore. So, yeah, That's where I'm at. All right, let me go grind these fuckers down, and I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna put you guys on mute so you can't hear me beating my head against the wall. I'm just kidding. I'm not. I have too much self worth to hurt myself. I have too much of an ego. So yeah, my grinding wheel is like pretty effed up. So if you want to do this right, what you would do is you would go around the circle of the washer here. Let's see, yeah, like that guy. Okay, and you would do 4 cuts in it with a cutting wheel, and you would make 2 angled one direction and 2 angled the other direction, and you would do 4 on both sides, but you wouldn't have them adjacent to each other. You'd have them offset, staggered side to side. The angles are for that no matter which way it turns, it's either moving grease inward or outward. The 4 cuts are for having 4 of them and still having stability in the platform of which it is because it is a spacer. Cuts in the first place are to keep from eating through the big washer you're going to put underneath it because that's the way these things are built. So, all right. You know what? Give me a minute. I'm just going to sit here for a second before I do this. Okay with you guys? Texas was pretty bad. Right. I'm sorry. Yeah. No. Cool Spawn. You good, man? Yeah. I guess you would, huh? Yeah. I didn't think about that one. Dude. Yeah. I'm just in flux, man. It's like I don't know what's gonna happen. I know I'm gonna be a happier person. I already am, but I don't know what's gonna happen. I can tell you one thing. I'm never getting married again, ever. No, if there's a woman in my life that wants to have that stupid ceremony and that stupid ring and that stupid piece of paper, then it's pointless. I mean, I will sign a contract to stay with you for the rest of my life, but I'm not getting married as of government legal. Your kaiju keeps popping out. What do you mean by that? Oh, drive shafts. Okay. Ooh. Any idea how to keep the drive shafts from coming out of the cups? Yes, I do. Shim them on both sides. So grab some RC car fuel tubing maybe, or if you have access to some smaller rings. When I don't have anything, I usually use some of this. This is jet fuel tubing because it's tougher than the regular silicone stuff. It's like a neoprene product, and cut off about the width of a big O-ring, like I should have one around here somewhere for an axle, but I don't see one. All right, so let's see. Also, I need something that you can actually compare to because, yeah. Okay, differential bearing. This is, I think, 4 millimeter, right? So about try 2 to 3 millimeters and make 2 of them, make them square, or use O-rings that are already cut, whatever you can get your hands on, and put one in each end of the cups, and that will keep the axle from bouncing back and forth and keep it within a certain amount of depth on each side. Does that work? That makes sense? That's what we do with the center and rears on the arrmas, because the fronts are CVDs, but the rest can float and they can pop. Also, if you have too much droop, if your suspension is allowed to fall out too far, if you actually have a droop adjustment, because not all cars do. What the fuck is on the ground here? If you can adjust the droop, which would be a screw generally underneath the control arm, like right here, right there, like if you, yeah, that little guy, wrong way, right there. That's a droop screw. So that hits the chassis when the arm comes down. So you can adjust how far the arms can move down. If you have too much droop, if your arms are coming way down, then you're putting your axles at a way bad angle and they're going to pop. I suggest having your axles just above level, and then maybe having just a little more droop than that. But seriously, like, you want to be riding at level under acceleration. So on the gas, when it squats, you want to be level on the rear axles. So you want your droop to not be much more than that, and you want your suspension to make that happen by setting your ride height correctly. That's the way we do it. How's that sound? Does that work for you? I hope so. If not, keep hitting me with more info, and I'll give you more, because I just, from what you gave me, that's all I got. All right. Right. Seal. Freaking. On this side, you'll need a shim, bearing, outdrive. So, shimmy, bearing. If you're reusing bearings right off a build, then make sure there's no shim still stuck to it. That is one ugly messed up outdrive. But that's, I don't know what the hell's going to happen in this truck in the future. I'm not about to give them all my good shit, even though I just spent like freaking $70 on gears for it. I don't think she cares. Whatever. She's probably going to move up to Tennessee with the kids. Fortunately, take the dog with her, but that dog can bring happiness to 3 people instead of just me, then I'm fine with that. Well, I miss the fucker, but I'll get another one. That's how it works. All right, so as usual, per the normal build, you got your big washer, your small washer, and then your pin. Of course, your seal before those, but that's all in the exploded view. That's all self-explanatory. The things you need to listen for is the stuff where I go beyond what the factory does, like putting the grooves in the washers there. So one of those goes in, and then we're going to stick one of these little shimmies here from the old bearing shims for doing the diff ring gear shim. And we're going to put that behind the crown gear between that and the big washer. That's going to tighten up our insides a little bit. Just a touch. Now we're going to put in our standard gear pack. With our spiders and all that crap. And the same way it comes out of the EXP diff, it goes right in the aluminum case. It's the same stuff. We're just doing a different case. Get those lined up. It's going to need some fluid, unfortunately. So, where is 200? Should just stick an ear plug in there and see what happens. It is a front div anyway. You know what? Fuck it. See how that works out. So let's pick I don't know, like a third. No, not even. Maybe a quarter. About a quarter earplug. Maybe a half. Okay. Right, back gear assembly set up. So out drive, grease, as usual. Okay. Bearing, obviously. And then initial seal, big washer, small washer. That's a shim. Big washer, small washer. Yep, both on there. Pin, gasket, centered. The gasket's over there. Big washer. I only put a shim on one side if you're shimming the internals. Two of them won't work. It'll be too tight. Trust me. Line up your bolt holes, slam them together. So put your screws in before the grease gets into them. There you go. And then installing, you've already got a shim behind the pinion, a shim behind the bearing on that side. So that should be all you need to hold it together as far as your ring gear to pinion clearance. What you want to do is double check that, make sure that's tight, and if that's good, then you're done. If it's overly tight, then you got to pull the whole thing apart again because of the way I put the shim on the back side of the bearing. But you can either spend the occasional amount of time doing that, or you could spend every single time fighting with those little tinfoil shims they give you. That's up to you. Personally, I think my way's a lot better. And there it is. Yep. Well, it's a tight one. Gonna be interesting. Wow, it's actually quite loose rather than a piece of well, there it is. Yeah, now we're grinding it in. So, it feels like maybe a little over 500K. It doesn't feel like anything crazy. I guess it really depends on how much fluid you've got in there when you put one of those earplugs in there. Yeah, it feels like 500, maybe a little tighter. But whatever. So there you go. There's another diff. All right, fine. I'll show you the shimming part. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, actually, I really, really could use one of these. And all these. All right. So, don't worry about the axles at first, unless you want to put them in because you think you're going to nail it first time. Line up your out drives, like the slots, because if you don't, they'll get stuck on the shock tower and it'll be hard to put in. Throw that bad boy in there. Yeah, come on. Right. All right. You can refill on that. Push it in as hard as you can, equally on both sides. Put your finger up in here and hold the input yoke and see if you can turn that gear. See if there's any play in it. This gear has zero play right now, which to me means it's too tight. When I put the cover on, bolt it down, it's going to be over tightened. So it's going to be pushing on shit, premature wear, etc., etc. I don't think it's going to be too tight. Let me try it. Because the alternative sucks. Like, sucks a lot more than a hooker in a wheelchair. All right. So that. If you do any drivetrain work and your battery runtime all of a sudden goes to shit, you need to go back and look at your drivetrain work because you probably got something bound up. If you take the motor and slide it all the way off the gear so that your spur gear and pinion gear are no longer attached, you should be able to take that thing outside, put it in a sloped driveway, and it should roll the end of it across the street. Everything should be free moving. If it's not free moving, you got a bearing problem, or you got something's locked up too tight because it's shimmed wrong or something. The key is to get it exactly perfect without binding. That's the hard part. So, unfortunately, there is no like magic spec to it. I can't just tell you, okay, use this shim exactly and use, because they're all different. Everything's different. That's why you have to hand fit it. However, there is a standard starting point that I've already said, with a thin shim behind the pinion, a thin shim on the bearing for the ring gear. That should be on point. I haven't had a lot of problems where it's not, and usually if it is, it's because I'm using a lot of used parts, used gears, used cases, etc., etc. Like I said, the perfect build, bulletproof, is when you buy all new stuff, all at once. New case, new gears, new housing, new bearings, new outdrives, new internal gears, new pinion ring, the whole 9 yards. The bolts don't have to be new; they just have to be really clean. And put it all together from scratch and follow that recipe with the case out of the car so you can really feel the difference in the gear. And if you do it that way and it's set up exactly to the spec, like super tight but not binding, it will last a very, very, very long time. And if you keep all those parts together, they will work better under rebuild conditions. When you go to take it apart because you got a bad bearing or something, but the gears are still okay, then throw a new bearing in it. It's going to be a lot better off than if you replace the diff and threw it in that housing, because all those parts have been together from day one. You know what I mean? Things tend to, not that these are going through thermal expansion or anything. I mean, really, there's not a ton of heat here. I mean, it might change 10, 15 degrees Fahrenheit, if that. But the parts wear together. They mate. Boy, there were so many jokes right there that I just let go. You're welcome. So that's kind of, how I want to do it. But let's see if this thing's going to be solid, because I don't know if it's going to be too tight or not. If I do have to tear it down, it won't be another guarantee you that. See, where in the hell is the other case? Like, for front cover? Because, whoever put this away lost all the parts. It's fucking Nick. I told him to keep everything together, all the hardware, so we had everything in the box. I've got no bolts. I've got no fucking diff cover. Fuck, man, what the shit? There's nothing in here. Hold on. Alright, well, fuck. So I'll have to just fucking put whatever on it. Thanks, Nick. Always listening. Where the fuck? Okay, I thought I had. No, right, I already used it. Well, I've got spares, I'm not worried about it, but I would like to know where the fuck the original is. Mike, these are those hubs I was talking about. Yeah, the 5mm offset M2Cs. Another thing that sucks is that they're not the same thread. I mean, I'm sure it's a better thread because they would change it if it wasn't. But yeah, you can't put arrma nuts on them. So, ooh, that was my tummy making noise. Said, feed me, motherfucker. I'm gonna fucking make you have diarrhea for the rest of the week. That would suck if your body organs had personalities and shit. Why do we take a shit like that? I don't know. Crazy fucking people. State certified by the state of California. Okay, new bolts it is. I don't spend more than a certain amount of time looking for a piece of hardware. If I can't find the damn thing and I know I got spares on hand, I'll just leave it where the hell it is. As long as it's not in the intake manifold of an engine or in a gearbox on one of these. Because it's not worth the time. You spend all this time looking for it, you can just grab a new one quicker and you'll find it when you clean up at the end anyway. If you don't, well, you might want to start keeping track of your nuts and bolts. That's bent. Yep. Alright. I think we got two of these, hold on. But when you tell people that they need to maintenance their truck and they never do, they never work on it or look at it or do anything, they just drive it. They expect you to charge the batteries, load the batteries, put the body on, do everything but drive it for them. Well, shit's gonna happen. So that's that. What the fuck happened to the front shocks, Nick? All right. Well, I guess I'll have to wait till he gets out of work to find out where the hell the rest of the parts were for my wife's truck. Because now we're getting to a point where I'm missing big components like shocks. So yeah. All right. So anyway, that's the build. As far as anything else that has transpired that might need to be noted, I am trying some very different settings on my stunt truck. I'm running the droop a lot closer to what the factory is, according to Alan's 6S that hasn't been 6S V6 that hasn't been modified. Yeah, the rear droop's out a bit too, but yeah, the front droop was a lot bigger than mine, so the arms were down farther at rest. So because that's the stop right there. So you can adjust how far it goes down. And like I said, with the rears, you want to be at ride height, just about a little over axle level. That way, when you're accelerating, you are at axle level. That takes the least amount of torque out of it and makes it run cleaner and less wear. But as far as droop goes, this is actually off. One side's way different, which is super important. You don't want to go much farther than below the axles, like maybe down about 2 mil and then 2 mil more, when you're at full extension. Because the farther you go, the worse angle your axles are at, so the easier they are to force out of those sockets. Having your droop set is very, very important, especially for balance. If you accelerate and the car darts off in one direction all the time, it's more than likely that your front droop is off because it's lifting one tire before the other one, so you have more traction on that side and let's go over there. Same thing with the rear if you're going backwards, or if you go off a jump and it always wants to twist or turn a certain way, it's because your droop's probably off. You need to take your shocks off, set it up on a thing, balance it all out, make sure the height's the same for all of them when they're fully extended, and also make sure you have free movement. If you don't have free movement like this, then you might have a problem. You should be able to pick it up and drop it like that. These are binding a little bit in the front, probably because I over-tightened the front screws because they're brass sleeved. The front control arms are anyway. All our control arms are brass sleeved. Well, not all Aclaris, just their upper fronts, but all the control arms of both my trucks are all brass sleeved. They all have brass inserts where the hinge pins are. There we go. Free movement. That's how it should be. So if you don't have that, and then you have something binding, look at it. Bend hinge pin. Free movement here, free movement in the drivetrain. It makes such a difference. You won't believe it. You'll much more greatly enjoy the hobby when your rig is set up properly and works the way you want it to. And when you get to that point where it becomes an extension of your own body and you don't even have to think about what you're doing with it, like what stunt or what trick, or who you're passing or whatever. You just do it because it works exactly the way you want it to. You don't have to process anything. So it gives you confidence in the car. When you have confidence in the car, you can push it all the way to the edge and keep it there. Because when you go over, well, that's when you spin out or flip or do something wrong. When you learn how to ride the edge of performance, then that's when you're doing your fastest laps. That's when you're doing your best stunts. That's when you're pushing everything to the max. You're getting the most out of your vehicle. You're getting the most out of your driving. I know this because I used to be a driver coach, kind of, and a chassis guy with a Formula 4 team. It's like a 2-summer job. It was part-time. No big deal. It's not like I was going to Formula 1 or something. It was at Sebring, which is nearby here, where they have the 12-hour and all that. But what you learn is how to set up a car to fix what problems, as far as camber, caster, toe, anti-squat, anti-dive, Ackerman, roll center, center of gravity, etc. So there's so many different things you can change geometry-wise on these that you can on real cars. Because, well, you can if you buy expensive parts, but these have the adjustments. And trust me, I hate driving a truck that doesn't have at least 3 degrees anti-squat and only 1 degree of rear toe, where armors all come at 3. I don't like 3 degrees rear toe. It's too much rear end. You don't need that much rear end. That makes it too easy. Well, it's for rookies to drive it. That's why so the rear end doesn't spin. But how can you drive a car that's so planted on the rear you can't turn the front? I mean, the front will turn. Doesn't mean it'll turn like actual. Anyway, so whatever. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You take care, Cool Spawn. I hope you learned something. I hope it helps you. Really do. If it doesn't, please get back to me. We'll have to exchange emails or something sometimes. You can get a hold of me if you need to talk to me so I can walk you through whatever you need help with. I have no problem with that. The only thing I have left to give to this world is knowledge and experience. Other than that, I'm pretty much worthless. So, yeah. Have a good night, man. Godspeed. Stay well. Hope you and your family are all healthy and live long and prosper. And if it don't go, send it. Well, I haven't said that in a long time. Okay, so there's that. And nope, that's off too. Okay, so bring this down a little bit. Now, they actually make gauges for this where you have like little blocks to put the car on a flat surface and then a little gauge to tell you exactly what your droop setting is. I had them with the surface when I raced. It's about $45 to get the kit that I used to have, which I don't need. As far as I'm concerned, eyeballing it's enough for a basher. I mean, your tires have like 2 inches of deflection. It's like you can't make it perfect, but the better you make it, the better it's going to run. And that's it, man. I'm done. I'm out. I appreciate you guys very much, and I appreciate you guys checking out my channel. I hope you guys are learning something. I hope I'm helping you in some way, make your hobby more better. More smiles per mile. That's what I'm here to do. Obviously, I've got some parts to soak in gasoline because it's the only thing I know to get silicone off, except for that product that Mike has. And evaluate parts as they come out of the dip, whether they're usable or not, and recycle the bearings and the bolts like I do. I usually soak them in gas for 2 weeks and then blow them out and then hit them with brake cleaner and then put them in. I actually changed up. I was putting them into Lucas. Now I'm putting them in CRC. It's a gun clean spray and very fast, very light. I'll try some in the field and see how quick they fail because if the light oil makes them fail too quick, I'm not going to go with it. But light oil is way faster than grease. Back when I started rollerblading half pipe, the pros were using dry bearings before they were greased from the factory. They'd get them, and they were fast as hell. They wouldn't last more than about 3 weeks. But they were fast as hell. Less rolling resistance. But that's at a level I don't think you need to be in Bastion. In Bastion, it's better to protect your unit than make it a tenth quicker. It's like we're not looking for speed. We're not looking for anything crazy. It just needs to do the tricks and rock it out. And most of these things are fast as shit from the factory anyway. I know this one was quick. I mean, the V6 is definitely at least 10 miles an hour faster than the V5 was. And that's just the gearing and the ESC, the motor maybe. I don't know if they modded the motor, but whatever. That's it, man. Unless anybody's got any questions before I roll out. And on that note, all right. Well, I say adieu to all of you, and I will see you on the flip side. If it smells funny, don't eat it. Later.